because I can't catch up with the fact that it's April. I think we're in January still. It's May.
Reveal your tingle.
Yes. Head technician, Kane Labos.
Scotty. Oh my god.
She's out cold.
That's a bird.
No, it's not.
James, while this
Oh no.
Boing.
No!
What the hell?
Burns! Link can tear up my ass.
What's happening?
What's this? Is it a green pen?
Green pants.
It's for Zelda.
Wait, what is a Zelda reference? Oh, because Link wears green in sometimes. Is that why?
Dun dun dun.
Hi, and welcome back, Pocket, for Thursday, the 18th of May. Starring. I forgot to open my thing.
I gave you an open one, and then you locked
But
it.
then you said we had to aggressively wave, and I got distracted. We're starring Peter Burns. He's a sexy man, and I can say that because we're married. Oh yeah, Peter Burns. And also, he looks alarmingly similar from the back, which almost created a very awkward situation in the office today. It's Gus Ronald. And don't worry, guys, he's forever hydrated. It's Josh Swift. And we were going to go to a Michael Bublé concert together, but then the concert got rescheduled, so now he's going without me because he's a bastard. It's Will Yates! And introducing the brand new and utterly cursed star of the show, it's Tingle Nasty. And me. Hi! Welcome to the show! Oh my gosh! What?
Give him a wave.
Give him a wave. Give the people what they
refuses
want.
to wave.
Why? What's the waving?
Well, you see, when we were waiting as the show counted down to 0 while you were doing whatever you were doing, glittering up,
Glittering up.
Well,
we were waving.
I felt like I needed a bit of extra pizzazz.
Fair enough.
The pizzazz was the weight of us stressing out that you weren't going to be here in
Well,
time.
I think it was worth it.
I think it looks lovely.
I think it looks.
I think it would have been nice if you shared the glitter with the rest of us.
A little bit of sparkle that everyone needs in their life, like a little bit of tingle.
I put some nasty. I put some shade under my eyes
Yeah, you've got
to really accentuate the bag.
And those lines on the edge,
Yeah?
really,
You like the
know,
crow's feet?
the feet of crows.
33, going on 43.
Oh.
I'm really, really sad about that Michael Bublé concert. That would have been super. I've seen him once before, and I would say it was one of the best
guys were
concerts I've ever
going?
been.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you guys call him boobs or the boobs?
Oh, that's a good question. Is it a the?
I think Bubbles.
Oh,
Bubbles?
That's shit.
I think the boobs.
The
I think I go
boobs.
with the boobs.
Yeah,
boobs?
gonna go and see the boobs tonight.
Gonna go see the boobs.
Yeah.
Again.
I was going to say, saying the boobs sounds like it's a regular occurrence,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
they will.
It definitely is. Yeah.
So
yeah.
he can say the boobs.
The
The rest of
boobs.
us are like, I'm off to see
Michael
Mr.
Bublé.
Bublé.
Mr. Bublé.
Mr. Boobs is
Please.
my father.
Dr. Boobs.
Dr. Boobs.
Dr. Boobs.
That's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. You're gonna have the best time.
So excited.
When
So
is that?
excited. Next month, I think.
Early June.
Early June. Mum bought a single ticket at stage. So it's going to be a rotated
Hang on.
seat.
Oh,
throughout
okay,
the night.
right. You gotta rotate.
Nice.
Otherwise, it's like you do that thing where you get there, you got your drink and everything, and your mum's
Yeah.
like, bye!
Bye.
And she hangs down.
So-
just like bowls into the boobs.
Yeah.
I'm so confused for a second. I thought you meant it was like on a rotating
That
stage.
would
I'm
be
like, so are you seeing the concert
Every
in a
now-
circle, or
The audience
are you just
rotates and he
singing
stays still.
But you have to stay
You're just on
facing
the swivel
forward.
chair going,
Yeah.
And no, you can't swivel. He goes round you. It's like, I just haven't.
Where'd he go?
He's going
I was like, when I just sat in a normal chair.
you get the Doppler effect. It's like,
My favorite one of that is, and again, this is a Will choice. I went to a Chris Isaak concert. I've been to many
That's
Chris
the coolest
Isaak.
thing you've done.
I've been to
are
many
you?
Chris Isaak ones,
Yeah.
and he does a great bit. I can't remember. I think it might be "Baby Did a Bad Bad Thing" because it's quite a long and repetitive song. He walks into the audience and goes upstairs singing it, comes into each tier and just sings it through the crowd, and so you listen to him go up the stairs as he's getting to the next level. It's so fun.
And it's when he goes. It's when he goes in the little doorway and you lose him for a bit, and it's like, small coke, please. I just got a small hot dog and a chips and.
It's that bit. It's that bit. It's the really fast bit. That's
Yeah.
the coolest part.
Yes.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
That's a bit Elvis, but fuck, he's a good singer.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I always
got
think
the
of,
voice.
even though it's not his version of it, but I think of hearing the Forza 4 trailer, which was the one set in Australia. But it's done by like a female artist who does a really good job of it. There it is. But that trailer is one of the best things I've ever seen, and I got
huge.
teary. It
Totally.
was like, such a good cover.
It was huge.
What have you been up to, Gus?
Me?
Look at your
Breakdowns.
jacket.
Oh, okay.
Breakdowns.
Let's go to the fashion. It's that season. It's,
Is this the one that's tobacco and not cigar?
yeah, unfortunately. But I like it.
I like it. I
It's
like
grown
it.
on me now. I think
Yeah.
I'm happy with the color
I
choice.
think it
but
suits you more, and the cigar,
you've got cigar.
whatever the darker one is, suits you more.
Yeah.
You ended up with the
Old
right jackets.
Dunham, double denim over there.
You know,
Yeah.
I bought this jacket after I saw him wear yours.
I really
and I
loved
was
it.
like-
You were like, how are you? I'm like, I've had a breakdown. You're like, I love the jacket. And we're like,
Wait.
just powering
Ignore
past that.
feelings.
Have you
Talk
had a-
about the
Have you
jacket.
had a breakdown?
I've no. Okay, here's the thing. The things that could have gone wrong have gone so wrong, and then they've just
Oh,
at the
yeah,
end
you've
kind
had
of
a week.
recovered.
You've had a
so
week.
one involving a lost phone that like definitely got lost in them. It left Sydney without me, and I got it back. Another one involving another broken piece of technology, which if fixed will be two things that have happened that have destroyed me from the inside, and then at the end of the day it might be okay. Which in that case, I just prefer it to go wrong. Like it's just,
Yeah.
I'm dancing dangerously close
Why?
to it. Because then I can just embrace the fucked upness and be like, it all went wrong. Whereas things just keep almost going so bad and then recovering at the last minute. And I'm just, I'm on edge.
The tension.
You don't,
I'm just
the
on
wasted.
yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's almost like you want to be able to absolve yourself of the stress like
Correct.
immediately rather than like hanging in this limbo
Yeah.
space.
Yep. So
I mean,
I get
I
that.
prefer to
I
get
get
the
that.
shit back, I'll be honest.
yeah, that's one.
That would be nice one.
If there are any parts of the show missing tonight, that's because technology sucks, and we're holding this thing together by just a Josh and a dream. We only have the dream left.
Just a dream. And pizza. There's still a little bit of pizza.
There's a little bit of
A
pizza.
little bit of
pizza.
pizza.
Yeah.
A little
But no,
bit
I'm
of
fine.
pizza.
I'm gonna get there.
Oh gosh.
Just need a holiday, which you guys are taking.
I said to you when you told me all of the things that had gone wrong for you this week, I was like, wow, that sounds like you've had like a series of
You
like,
said a bunch of Ben Dixon bluster.
a classic Ben Dixon blunders.
And I said
yeah.
I call them goose gaffs. So
Goose gas.
we
The
both
fact
have
that we both have a word for it means that
an alliterative
we're-
version of how we
Yeah.
fuck stuff. How things just happen for us sometimes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Other than that,
Yeah.
you just keep kicking on.
I feel like I get into a good run of like, existing as a normal human, and I lull myself into this sort of false sense of security that I've changed.
That wine is definitely going to mess you up as well because
I
it
don't
is
care.
weeks old.
Whoa.
It's 2 weeks old and been in the fridge.
That's like balsamic vinegar now. What about you? You said you had a burrito story.
I got a burrito story. Why wouldn't I have a burrito
wow.
story?
All right.
Oh, wow.
So we've been in the middle of a pretty cool shoot block. It's been it's been a fun.
Well, it's done, so it's cool now.
The
'cause
block
it's
is
like-
over. The block is over. But there were 4 reasonably large productions that happened between Friday last week.
Fucking hell, was that last week?
Yeah, I slept at your house after last Thursday's show.
Give me. I'm just going to help Scotty.
You are
She's-
forgiven.
She's very uncomfortable.
She's very uncomfortable. Thursday's show last week finished. I came back to your place. I slept at your place.
Which we also got back to my house and we're like, we spent the day working together, the night on the show. We got into my house and we're like, I don't want to talk to you. And you're like, neither do I. And we're like,
I'll be in your room.
very good. Good night. And
Yeah.
we took our leave. Continue.
Yeah, and then we got up pretty early and headed out to do shoot on Friday. Friday night, I flew with one of our
Camera ops?
superstar camera ops up to Brisbane, and we did a shoot up on the Sunshine Coast at a camel farm, which
That's
was amazing. Sunday morning, got home, dropped back into home after catching a 2-hour train home, and then came back down to Sydney for Monday.
Your car broke down, did you?
My car is broken as well.
It's
just chaos.
Yeah.
And sorry to give you the full breakdown. Monday we shot another shot in Sydney, and
Sydney
then
Uni? Yep.
at Sydney Uni. Then I went to Melbourne
Ballarat.
to go to Ballarat on Tuesday night, and this is where the burrito comes into play. Now,
This story is not worth this lead-in.
He has still not been home. We leave for Europe tomorrow.
I was home on Saturday night.
You've not been home since
Sunday morning.
He's never really been home.
Never. No one's ever really gone. I was home Sunday night. You don't remember that though. You were working on something when I came in, and then I went to bed.
For God's sake, get to the burrito.
We want to build the tension. The burrito, goddamn nosy boy. So, landed in Melbourne Airport, Tullamarine, pretty late, and then rented a car, filled the car with gear, and drove out to Ballarat, which is about an hour and 15 minutes. So, we were on the way and very hungry, and we were like, we need to order food before we get to the hotel, because the hotel restaurant is closed, and there's nothing much else out of Ballarat, so we got to pick up food before it all closes.
Yeah.
So we swing by a place called Taco Bill's.
Oh.
Not Taco Bell. Taco Bill.
Which, shout out to anyone in Victoria. I think Taco Bill down there is a franchise. I swear I've heard of Taco Bill a lot, and Taco Bell we never had. I know it's the American one. Are there more Taco Bills in Victoria? Chat, let us know.
There's definitely one in Ballarat.
I love Taco Bill.
Yeah, it definitely is, I swear.
Yeah.
There's like 3.
We tried Taco Bell for
That's
the
a chain.
first
That's a
time
chain.
the other day.
3's a chain. 2's not a chain.
Two's not a chain.
2 is 2 items joined.
Yeah.
But you add a third link.
It's a
Taco
link.
Bell sucks.
Taco Bell is awful.
Taco Bell is bad. Taco Bell is good.
Taco Bell is great.
Yeah.
So we order burritos. We go to, and they're like, that'll be 10.
There's
Didn't
that
even-
content.
That'll be the wheel's gone.
Yeah.
Bill's gone.
Thank you for the content. We order the burritos. They said it's going to be 10 minutes. I'm like, that's a long time to make a burrito, but cool. We go next door, get a couple of things for lunch for the next day. Come back. We get this bag of burrito. Take it.
Bag of burrito.
They give us two meals in a bag.
Okay.
So we drive to the hotel. It's a resort. We check in because there's no hotels in Ballarat. There was just a resort. I drive JP to the camera up to his estate. Drop him off. We dump all the gear in his place because he wants to set up for tomorrow, and he takes one of the boxes for of the burrito.
Yep.
I drive back to my place. I get my stuff out. I get my box out. Burrito. Finally, after hours of complaining that we're both hungry, we get to sit down and eat these things.
In your own lonely estate.
In our own lonely, little like cottages on a resort. And pull the foil back, open it up. Not only is there a very large burrito in there, but it is in a bed of wet beans and rice. So I'm like, I didn't want that, but I'll eat it. It all smells really good, and it did smell amazing. I'll get the knife and fork. There's no knife and fork. Because you don't need one for a burrito because it's usually not sitting in a bed of wet beans. So I'm like, okay, JP took all the fucking cutlery when he took his thing. And I was like going to text him. I was like, hey, have you got the cutlery? It's 4 degrees in Ballarat.
Looked around, there
I
wasn't
don't
any
want
in
to
the
walk. There's
resort.
nothing in the the reception was closing. And and there was nothing in the room. So I was like, I could text him and I could walk, and it's cold. It's 4 degrees. I don't really want to do it. I'm just gonna eat it with my fingers.
Yeah, no,
So I
sure.
pull the burrito out of this wet thing. It's dripping everywhere, mashing it down. Tastes amazing. Getting spoonfuls of rice.
Handfuls of rice.
Spoonfuls of rice, spoonfuls of beans, eating like an animal, and thinking that fucking asshole JP has a fork. And he's having the best time. And then I caught up with him. I caught up with him the next morning, and I was like, man, that burrito last night, I ate it with my hands. He was like, same. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I was like, fuck, Pete's got all the cutlery.
So there's 2 people in individual estates, just lonely, just
angry at the other person that they have cutlery. Anyway, that was the burrito story.
That was the burrito story. That was the burrito
That's
saga.
very cute. That's very cute.
Taco Bell's, though, a mean burrito.
Yeah.
A mean burrito. Not bad at all.
And bonus bed of wet beans.
Yeah. Bonus better wet beans.
What a
every-
weird way to serve something.
How late in the day was it? Was it that thing where they just like...
We got there at 8:45 and they were
Okay.
closing at 9.
Oh, well, there you go. They were
They
just
did
getting
you
rid of the
a-
excess.
they did you a
excess wet
solid
beans.
getting the beans.
Yeah.
Oh
They-
yeah, that's true. They
They
had
would just
excess
be like,
beans on.
we got to clear the kitchen.
You know what, boys? Have some extra beans.
You know what? We have extra beans. We have extra rice. We have no cutlery. We
Oh,
have no
well.
cutlery. We can just put all this in a bag. They'll be fine.
They've got fingers.
They got fingers. Come on, they'll work it
It's
out.
like, you know when you eat you can eat a yogurt with like the lid of the yogurt, the foil.
Yep.
You
Yep.
can just like make a little spoon out of that. Like,
There
you
was
can
nothing
manage.
you could have done.
I had so many moments where I was like, what do I have at my disposal that I could use
could
to
have
shovel this into my mouth?
If you weren't as hungry as you were, you could have MacGyvered something up, but you were just
Yeah,
like, God-given shovels, these will work.
By the power of God, I will eat the beans.
I've eaten nachos with a teaspoon in a hotel once. Because nachos you can get mostly with the chips, but then the chips get soggy towards the end and then you have extra bits and then you've eaten all the chips.
There's a whole thing
and you
on
got to scoop up the rest.
There's a whole thing on hotel hacks of how to prepare, cook, heat, cool food, and eat it when using everything in the hotel room. So it's how to make toast on an iron that you have, that kind of stuff. No, seriously, there's don't doubt your parents would have known that too. It's they were like, oh yes, we used to boil a kettle on
a very
So Bobo
nacho
saying,
specific
could've used a lens
situation though.
There are ways you could have steamed the
gun?
You could have.
Oh, right,
The iron, you could have reheated in that way. But yeah, different things and different utensils, ways to eat them.
Yeah.
Pop in the cup.
Tried to sear a steak in a toaster
Oh,
for
you
the
have?
Ninja Pyro ad. Didn't work.
No.
Oh, that's
Sometimes
true. You did
I
too.
use my hair straightener to iron my clothes when I'm traveling.
That's more practical than cooking with it. Yeah.
On with the show then.
On with the show.
Let's move on to some news with a little bit of backup.
It's a sturdy mug.
It's got a crack. I thought
It does
had
get a
crack
little
in it.
crack, yeah.
A little bit of backup is brought to us by EvilSpyBoy, one of our dearly beloved patrons. Thank you so much for sponsoring the show. EvilSpyBoy, and much like EvilSpyBoy does, I'm having trouble with that one tonight. EvilSpyBoy. Spoyboy.
Yeah.
You little spy boy. You can get your exclamation marks Spyboy out in the chat and be just like EvilSpyBoy and head to foodbank.org.au and make donations to them. They're much needed charity who provide meals to families and people around Australia and is a much beloved foundation by EvilSpyBoy. So make tracks there now.
Make a
Spy
track.
boy. Make a track like a little spy boy. All right, let's kick on with a little bit of backup. And this week, not much news. Nothing that we considered news, but I saw something that caught my attention. I thought we could all watch it, which was a trailer was released for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Now, before we play
FNAF
it,
fan.
Yeah.
well, that's it. Before we play it, we could probably all say here. I don't know, Will entirely.
What's it rated?
I think it's. I want to say it's something
1 out of
higher
5
like
stars.
MA, but I'm sure they've gone for the mass appeal because FNAF's.
FNAF is big with the kids.
Yeah,
That's it, that's the
but
thing.
it is a Blumhouse,
It is a blue.
and so
think
and they're
it is.
usually quite, there's
Risque.
not really PG Blumhouse films.
No, that's
so,
true. And they've
yeah.
got some main.
What's it rated, chat?
Some main actors in it. We'll bring up the trailer, and it stars
It's
Josh Hutcherson.
He's back.
Josh Hutcherson?
Yeah.
Oh, Hutchison. Yeah,
Is he? He's Hunger Games.
Yeah, he is.
He's Rock Boy in Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Peter,
I'm a rock. I'm a rock.
Peter.
So yeah, there's a trailer for this, which surprised me that they're actually going ahead with this because I just look. I don't know.
Can I say something
know.
that
Yes.
I don't know if you know about that might get you on side with this?
Please.
All of the creatures, Jim Henson's Creature Shop.
Oh, I'm on
I
board.
thought that might bring you around.
Fucking love a puppet.
So,
It looks legit.
Yeah.
It
So
looks
there-
like
you
you've
do.
stepped into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
they
this
seem
has
practical.
some. I mean, this has some Saw elements to it. And correct me if I'm wrong. Like the scary thing about
Balls.
the scary thing about Five Nights at Freddy's is just them jumping and scaring you. It's never
Yeah.
the gore. It's never the thing they're going to do to you. And that had a little bit of Saw in it. Like they were literally two spinning blades. So
Yep.
is it a
Yep.
torture
But do we
porn?
see blood?
We may not. I just
M probably not.
No.
Right?
It is M.
It's M, but just M.
So, Fiona Skeleton makes a good
No
point.
way.
Nick Cage already got ahead of this, though. So, Nick Cage made a film, which I should have
course
looked
he
up
did.
beforehand, that was like a very grungy, one of his, how he's just really jumping from weird project to project. That
Yeah.
was about
He's a
him
weird
as
guy.
kind of like a hitman meets ultra violent guy who finds himself, his car breaks down in a Chuck E. Cheese style amusement parlor. He goes in there for the night. They're like, you can clean the whole place and we'll fix your car.
Amusement parlor is a very generous way
Yeah.
of naming a Chuck E. Cheese.
Sorry, I'm trying to think. We don't
It's a
have
restaurant with a rat that serves you food.
We don't have the equivalent here. Thank you. Willy's Wonderland is the trailer. And so it's basically Five Nights at Freddy's. And I think in Willy's Wonderland, I never watched it, they all come to life and try to kill him. And he's like, I'm going to kill you. And I think all the...
Oh, yeah.
Are they animatronics? I think they're animatronics.
Yeah, I think so,
But
yeah.
he just goes on a bloodbath murder spree against the creatures kind of vibes. And everyone said it's the Five Nights at Freddy's film, which they were like, no, clearly not. We're going to make our own. I don't know if, are people still on the FNAFs train?
It's definitely still big, but in the niche crowds that
Okay.
always loved it. I don't
Yeah.
think it's.
It
in
feels like it's the kind of thing now that would be like too
Oh,
mainstream for kids.
So just while we're talking,
be,
sorry, Steph,
like,
this
super
is
into.
Willy's Wonderland trailer. So see if you spot the similarities. But yeah, I think this is probably the better film from what I heard reception
haven't-
Like
wise.
I thought
haven't seen either
kids
of
would
these
be
films.
into like weird creepypasta stuff that's on forums and whatever, and FNAF is too mainstream.
You reckon it's too mainstream now?
Yeah.
Okay. I still think people are going to wander into that film not knowing it's a game, I think. Like, it's got that kind of vibe to it, in my opinion. It's still, well, there you go.
yeah,
These things
totally.
are fucked as well.
Yeah.
Now we've got 2 films about Chuck E. Cheese amusement parlors coming to life. This shouldn't be a genre.
Did anyone see the Nick Cage film where it's like about himself, but not?
Yeah.
Yes, it's really good.
Is it?
It's great. He's
That
wearing it. Steph.
Oh, I thought we watched it. But I watched it without you because I asked if you wanted to watch it and you said not really.
I did say that.
It is good.
The Unbearable
Weight of
Talent.
massive
Unbearable.
talent. Yeah.
Weight of massive talent.
Yeah, it's really good. It's fantastic. This is pivoting very well to Nick Cage
It's like-
topics. Have you seen Pig?
No.
Pig's
I don't think I've
amazing.
seen Nick Cage stuff in a long time. He's a lot.
He's in Dead by Daylight now. He's
Yep.
a character coming to the game.
That was
as
the other bit of news.
Nick Cage.
Wait, as a killer?
As Nick Cage.
as just as Nick Cage.
Oh, but as one of the...
As one of the people hunting, I think.
Really?
Wait,
Or no, I think
you
it's,
get hunted by Nick
that would
Cage
be
and
cool.
he kills
It
you?
may be someone in chat. I only saw
Yeah.
the trailer, but
Wait, Josh, you're going to have to find that one for us.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
Really? Because he's not in
He's a survivalist.
He's
He's
just a survivor,
definitely
yeah,
a survivor
right.
because he's not
That'd be so funny. He's
Yeah.
stalking around.
God damn.
Looking for you would be amazing.
not the bees.
But the character model's awesome. Like it's one of the better ones
good
they've
version
done.
of it. Shout outs in chat for Mandy as well is an amazing. Mandy and Pig are both very good films and Unbearable Massive Weight of Nick Cage.
Yep.
Which
the one.
is not the title.
There he is.
Holy shit!
Like that's just Nick Cage.
I think it's his face off.
Yeah,
Vibe?
he's got the jacket. There's a
He's
little
got
bit
the
of that
jacket
to
from
it.
Face Off.
But yeah, we'll find out more later.
That's is this getting to a point where that's not even like his character? That's just the actor's name and the actor's model in your game.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he seems like the kind of person who'd be like fully on board and wanting to be like involved in the process.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's also not a character of his. It's not whatever his name
But
is from.
he is a character.
Lord Chat says it's his Snake Eyes outfit.
Oh, right.
Snake Eyes.
Wow.
God, that's an obscure one.
Yeah.
Not his
Oh yeah,
8mm or his.
That's the one that we're going down the rabbit hole in Knives Out too.
It's a bit like
That's the
I
one
would
he's got
happily
on-
have
Yes.
Jack Black as Jack Black in my video game.
I guess you're right. There are some actors that transcend their characters and are better as a
And
personality. that you'd
I would say
prefer.
Nick Cage falls into that category.
Did you see the Jack Black music video?
Yeah.
I was like, that was a toss up as the other bit of news
Yeah.
that I really wanted to put up as well.
Because he's lent hard into that.
Yeah. This is not news.
It's not
this is-
news.
It's
What the fuck
clips.
is this? I just quickly on the FNAF stuff.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because
Newsboy.
News boy.
I want this segment to be fun shit we found on the internet.
I know
That's what it
is
should
fun
be.
shit we found on the
Josh,
internet.
play the Jack Black clip with no audio in the background while he talks. I love
FNAF
that.
became problematic not just in being like, oh, this guy's just churning out shit for children.
Yeah.
In that Scott Cawthon was donating to Trump and to
Yeah, wow.
some other Republican figures as well. Maybe Lindsey Graham or something. And when called out about it, about supporting like anti-LGBT kind of
Oh man, this is such a downer now.
yeah, but we're talking about a fucking product,
Yeah.
a film product, and all we've done so far is go like, oh, cool, there's a FNAF film, and it's maybe not cool because this guy fucking makes money and then he gives it to Donald Trump.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
actually news to me. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So we're all learning something. Isn't this a fun segment? now?
We're learning
Isn't
sad.
learning fun, kids?
I feel like I've learned that I wasn't going to watch it to begin with, and
Steph, guess
now
who else
I
is
will
in it?
tell other people not
Look,
to watch it.
I don't think he's an evil guy, but I do think he's a bit of a knob, and he's definitely donating to evil causes.
not good.
And he also makes trash games. So I wouldn't bother seeing the FNAF film if I were you.
Pirate it.
No, we didn't say that.
Steph,
We
it
didn't
is
say
also starring Matthew Lillard
Yes.
from Hackers.
Oh my god, watch it!
Like him in my books as like old school, he's from Scream as well.
He's
like,
so funny. He's
I
so
would
good.
love
and,
to see him.
And Scooby-Doo.
Well, he's
He's Shaggy.
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 Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just realized I can't do a Shaggy, but my brain went.
Not just the voice of Shaggy.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
That was it.
That
Do it
was
one more
very
time.
good.
Like Scoop.
Now say welcome back.
Welcome back.
Now do your George Lucas because that was fucking amazing. So when we did the rap,
You always got to lead in with welcome back.
when we did the rap,
Yeah.
there's a bit at the end of the rap
To
video
explain the
on
rap, 'cause
TikTok. Have you
literally
not
no
seen
one
the rap?
watched it.
You all saw the rap. You all saw the rap.
No one watched it. It was a bad idea.
You wrote it. I know. You wrote it.
We all know why. We all know why.
Yeah, he
Anyway,
wrote it.
We at the end of it said
It's
we
in an
should-
ad break. We'll talk
It's
about it
in
later.
the ad break.
We'll talk about it later.
after the app.
Let's
break.
get the-
Everyone
Yeah,
really
great.
enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Everyone really
I'm just gonna,
enjoyed
you know,
it.
just
Trying to
gonna,
get me back on track.
just gonna nudging. Just nudging.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair
yeah.
enough.
Nudging.
Have we learnt enough?
Oh, your foot's the other
we
way.
had-
Yeah, let's move on.
Taffies. All right. Well,
Blowing my, I watched the whole rap video.
Thank you, glowing Mike. One.
share it with your friends and family and mainly your
One.
enemies. All right, that's enough news. Let's talk about the games we've been playing in a segment we call What Have We Been Playing? What we've all been playing. Fuck, I'll never remember that. But my segment is done.
That's right. That's what we've all been
Wow.
playing because my segment has just begun. Thanks to BuriBuri, our favorite lawyer. The rest of the lawyers fucking suck. We've got a fact here on top of the that fact just now. Here, a weird legal fact / law / thing.
Well,
and-
we like to read these out to our guests.
We like to read them, yeah.
We have
Yeah.
fun.
How it works on
do
this
you
show.
have fun here?
We have fun.
have
Yeah,
fun.
good.
We
Okay,
do.
cool.
From time to
time to
time. In Kentucky.
Wait, really?
Kentucky. It is illegal to carry a concealed weapon. Sorry, I should be doing this in Kentucky. In Kentucky, it is illegal to carry a concealed weapon more than 6 feet long.
6 feet?
That's a long weapon. Nasty.
No!
No, you haven't.
Get back in your hole, nasty!
Nasty.
Go away.
We've now
No
just
nasty.
we've established a new
No.
mascot. 6
No.
feet. So longer than is illegal.
That does rule me out. I am not 6 feet long. I couldn't fit
Samurai
something 6
sword?
feet on me.
It's
Baseball bat?
just a penis joke.
That's a
Come
long
on, it's a
bat.
big penis joke.
No, it's not a penis joke.
Yes, it
6
is.
feet?
Yes,
feet?
and it's a weapon.
Hang on, can anyone think of a legitimate weapon that is 6 feet
6
long?
feet tall.
Like a boat oar.
The Final Fantasy
Um,
swords.
yeah,
Those fucking,
A
yeah,
very
yeah.
long
You said penis.
pole arm.
Hold
Yeah.
on. Okay,
That's a
yeah.
short pole arm, really, isn't it?
Up.
A harpoon, I guess if you're counting the rope.
But you have a mic.
You have a mic and you yell.
He just wanted
do it for
to yell
effect.
harpoon.
Trash can.
Yeah.
And Steph, you would talk your way out of harpoon by saying, "Officer, it does not include the rope."
It doesn't include the rope.
Well, that's
What about the ball on the rope that you go and then you kick? You know they wrap it. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it's got a little blade on the end of it.
Yeah,
Like a,
like in
yeah,
Kill Bill, and
yeah.
they wrap
Yeah.
it round, and then they.
That's a Morningstar.
No.
Like a
the
little
one on
dart.
the long rope.
It's a dart. It's a dart on the rope.
Oh, Destiny.
Yeah,
Destiny.
and they do that, and then they go
Rope dart.
once around the leg.
I think they're called rope darts. Yeah.
rope dart. Rope dart. What about rope dart, Peter? You have no answers.
It's a rope dart. Yeah, 6 feet long is long. Like I was thinking maybe it's like what do you use to garrote people? Like
Hang
a
on, hang on,
wire.
hang on,
You
hang on,
can have
hang
6
on,
feet of
hang on,
wire
hang
wound
on,
up
hang
in a
on.
spool.
Concealed?
6 feet is a
Concealed.
spear.
Yeah.
That's the thing. How do you
conceal a 6-foot weapon?
anything
It's 6
If
feet.
you're a 6 foot man, you can have a 6-foot spear.
just down one leg?
But you
Yeah.
just be
Well,
so
walking
stiff.
like this. Yeah.
Okay, then rope
Yeah,
dart.
you
Six
You'd have to
feet
be
of
7
rope
feet.
dart.
Yeah.
Coil that bad boy up. Conceal it in your jacket.
Yeah.
Someone asks, "What do you got there?" Boom, then you hit.
That you go. That's illegal.
That's an illegal rope dart. All right.
You're gonna need to shrink that rope dart.
trim the
Anyway,
rope,
this
just
was
cut the
shit.
Oh, we're slowly going to check out over this
Gus,
whole
tell us
episode.
about the game that you've been playing this week.
Okay, well,
you can conceal
you
that.
conceal a fucking Trojan horse.
What was
Why
that?
are we looking at-
Anyway, this was shit.
The beat.
Okay. We're going to have to put this thing back on the rails, seriously. Because I'm genuinely serious.
Serious game.
We have to talk about Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, a game that I usually, when I think of a game I'm going to talk about on the show, I have a think about what I want to talk about. I have not had time outside of life and playing this game to think about my thoughts on it. So this is all coming off the top of the dome. So just give me a bit of breathing room on this one.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Yes, I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom, much like I'm sure the rest of the world has currently been doing for the past week-ish. And I have gone into this game very anxious and very excited, but kind of as it got close to release, I lost a little bit of the hype on it. I was just like, okay, let's...
That happens to me sometimes.
Yeah, just as you get to that point.
It's like edging, and then it's like you go too far.
Okay, we really got
Back on track.
Back on track.
Back on track. Oh.
You lost it.
I've probably played about 5 to 6 hours, and I'm very early on. The game begins straight after Breath of the Wild and picks up on the adventure with you and Zelda heading down into these caverns where I won't spoil anything. I really promise I won't. You meet the big bad, and Link finds himself now transported to a area in the Sky Islands. He learns a bunch of new abilities. It's the tutorial area equivalent to the plateau area in Breath of the Wild. You gain a lot of abilities very quickly. You kind of power through the narrative of what's going on very mysteriously. It doesn't lay it out too heavy-handedly, I think. And then you head from, this is the starting area. It's handled very well, but again, I would say overwhelming is kind of what I would summarize the intro of this game as. It does a great job of the intro, but it is just a lot to take in the first 2 to 3 hours. Once you learn those abilities, which everyone has talked about already, which are Fuse, which is the
stick thing to other
Ascend, and the other one.
The time thing?
Is rewind, fuse, and climb up through the rock above you.
Yep.
Yes, climb up through the rock above you.
Which I'll just go out on record saying I think is actually the best ability out of all of it. It's the thing that breaks your brain in a platformer to go, oh wait, I can always just go straight up if I need to. It's a real sort of, it's an element of a game, Ascend, thank you, that I haven't thought about. When you leave this area, you head down to Hyrule, and my first big I was apprehensive about the idea of the fact that this takes place in the same Hyrule map as Breath of the Wild, which I, like many others, I'm sure, spent hours, countless hours traversing, learning, memorizing, knowing that map from back to front. So heading back to that, I was always nervous and didn't really dig deep in the marketing of this game to know, is it the same map? Am I just going to feel like there's a copy-paste job going on here? I'm glad to say, I'm just happy to say that I'm very lost down there. It is the same world and the same map, and the way the game is trying to push me around it feels like some amazing design is going on in the way that they are basically making it feel like a fresh world but still familiar. And I think that's another big takeaway from this, is that this is the same game. You just pick this thing up and it's like riding a bike. Like you remember all the gameplay that you had in those countless hours playing Breath of the Wild. And so in that sense, it probably loses a little bit of that initial wow factor of playing a new game and learning everything feels new. It does feel like 80% of this game you've not experienced, but you've witnessed and you've controlled a little bit of. So I don't want to say that's a downer, but it's definitely a weird feeling. Sorry?
What?
Goatsy.
What? That?
Goatsy.
I don't know what that means.
Why are you saying that?
Because it's what the shrines are doing.
That's a thing that's rude on the internet that I never looked at. So I'll move on.
The people in chat understand
People
Goatsy.
in chat.
They know Goatsy when they see it.
Is it just a hole?
Yeah, but there's like a hand's gripping the side of
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's ruined. Yeah, I'm going to lose track quickly here and not know where to pick it up from. But essentially, I'm at the point of this game where, and I was talking to Nicrotex earlier today, where I think there's less wow factor in the beginning outside of learning these abilities because, as I said, it is the same game and the same engine, and it's a fucking good game and it's a fucking good engine. It struggles from time to time because it is really the Switch at the end of its life. Like it really.
The end of its life.
How many times have we said that? Though?
I totally agree, but then there's this game.
They find
pushing,
ways to optimize it better.
They're trying really hard. And no, there's just
Put
moments
it
where
on the box.
trying really hard. The opening of the game up in those Sky Islands chugged for me in docked mode, and I was like, wow. I went down to like sort of below 20 frames, between 15 and 20 frames. And I was like, oh, you feel it.
Is there anything with the OLED that is like better performance-wise, or is it
I
just
don't
a better
believe
screen?
so. OLED is purely screen and Wi-Fi.
Just
so.
one hook? I did a double hook on this.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
I did 2 hooks.
The building.
Wow.
Quick.
Is it counterweight? No.
No. The physics of it are amazing. How they have managed to build this sandbox and how they've managed to build all these systems is incredible. It is just like, it is a monumental feat of game design and engineering to not only fit this massive world, but the draw distances, the sandbox element of the building is handled really well. And for having to do it in handheld mode with like shitty Joy-Con sticks and button presses, I would say they've come up with a very intuitive way to be able to pick things up and to rotate them and to stick them to other bits and pieces. The creativity out there right now, we've seen a bit of it earlier on today when we were laughing, is insane. People are building not only stupid, funny, rude things, but they are building complex, incredible things. It's Minecraft level of customization that people are putting in way too much time.
It just seems like the best possible direction to go with for a sequel for this game is to kind of give you the familiar space to play in, but give you such a broader range of tools and the freedom to create whatever you want within that world that you love.
I feel bad saying this, but a little part of me doesn't love it yet as much as I feel like I'm going to in a couple more hours in the game. And the reason I feel that way is because I've always loved my Zelda experiences being very curated, very, I'd say linear in a sense.
You're being taken on a journey.
World. I go on this sort of like storybook journey. I'm shown an open world, but I'm navigating it in a linear fashion, and that's the memory of the game to me. Breath of the Wild was exactly that, a very big breath of fresh air to be like, hey, let's take the guides out and let you do what you kind of want. Here with the building mechanics, I find them a little intimidating and a little bit like I've been given the dev tools a bit. So when I see puzzles that have been really well crafted ahead of me, that's what the shrines are. I walk into them now and I'm not filled with the same sense of inspiration that I know there's a clever puzzle in front of me and I just need to work out what they want me to do. That is still the case, but I'm given a bunch of shit on the ground to be like, here's some fans and planks and some balls are bouncing off the wall. And I don't know, maybe it's just these first hours, but a little part of me is feeling a bit maybe overwhelmed and maybe not inspired to solve those puzzles or feel that their solution is presenting itself in the same way.
Yeah, isn't it the game designer's job to design the game? Not yours.
Look, from what I've seen later on in the game and the way people have embraced this, I'm sure that's to come. And like, it's everything I've heard about this game just says it does such a clever job of letting everyone have their own experience at the start of it, but eventually also having some very similar experiences that you just think that feel unique to you in that moment. So that's, I'm sure, to come. And the thing I'm really enjoying right now is that I'm very much embracing these first couple of hours, discovering things, feeling a bit lost, and feeling underpowered. It's something I rush through too quickly in Zelda games. And I forget what it's like to only have 3 hearts, to struggle to make enough rupees to buy the basic piece of armor, to not know what is in every direction around you, and to not let that overwhelm me and go, I've got to spend a whole weekend doing every element of this until I'm super familiar with it. I'm really enjoying putting it down and picking it up again and going, I don't know if I'm meant to be going this way, but I'm only going to go a little bit in that direction. I'm going to get distracted by everything that presents itself. I'm not going to try and mainline the story. And so you forget often in games this big how quickly that feeling can go away, and you can find yourself with 20 hearts, too many sets of armor, hundreds of weapons, and you're like, it's not that the game's less fun, but you definitely take a control over that, and it stops being the adventure game that, you know, Nintendo wants you to have, of that like lost in the wilderness kind of vibe. So I'm really enjoying that at the moment.
Years of reviewing games and having to mainline the story has kind of pushed me so hard in the direction that I'm like, I want to take my time with this and explore everything but the main story. And when it funnels me back towards the main story, I'm like, no, I'm not ready for that yet. Stop it.
I reviewed Breath of the Wild for Spawn Point, and so while I enjoyed it after that review, I did definitely push myself through a lot of that early stage to get to the core of the game, to have something to talk about. I didn't finish it for the review, but I definitely got a fair way through it. Here I'm doing exactly that. I'm not just avoiding the main story points. I am just letting myself wander off in every direction, which I'm sure a lot of people got in Breath of the Wild, and now I'm experiencing in this. Beyond that, it's very amazingly commendable how much they've managed to cram into this. As I mentioned before, the draw distances and the world expansion both above and below. I didn't realize there was a below. There is a fucking below. There's the comparisons are being often made between Dark Souls, not only in scale but also in kind of like vibe.
Connectable.
There is a connectableness, but also like it's pitch black down there.
Yeah, cool.
I'm not going to spoil much more than that. I'll just say the underground area.
Bring a torch.
The underground area really opened, just felt very different and very not Zelda. Now,
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's the last thing I'll say in the sense that it's like...
I totally hear your point of like, because obviously part of the idea of the game is that you get stronger and you start to master the environment, and that's fun as well, that you get to be strong at the end. But while you're talking about that, Blob made a point in chat as well about the stamina specifically. As you level that up, like, because I've only played half an hour of this, so I played it in Ballarat with beanie fingers. and
burrito fingers.
Yeah. And I was like, this is as far as I can get. And that moment when you latch onto a wall, like, I was like, oh shit, yeah, you can climb literally anything as long as you can climb it. And that was a really interesting part of the early part of Breath of the Wild. I know I'm going to have fun with it here again because I'm excited about it again. But by the time in Breath of the Wild I had 3 full circles, I was like, oh, I can climb pretty much any mountain on this map now without a problem. So you lose some of the, I guess, the solving of the puzzle of the world, not being in puzzle rooms, but like, how do I get up there? I can't unless I think of something clever. And as you power up, you can come up with less and less clever solutions because you have the power to avoid going through the tedium of that.
And you run out of things to do by the end of the game, so you're literally looking for the last couple of things to do. Whereas now it's an amazing feeling to be given every new side quest, distraction, and there are heaps in this. That's another point I'll make about the game. Like, the thing I'm really, really impressed with for like the first time in a Zelda game, the aliveness of the world. There are so many more NPCs. They all have routines. They're moving around. It's common in other games, but in Zelda games, it's really not common. There's usually just like
on
one
a Switch.
town on a Switch.
What's the map like? Are there a lot of little icons and stuff, or is it like fairly minimal?
It doesn't litter you with UI. I'd say overkill. Like, it does a really great job. I really enjoy Breath of the Wild.
Can you buy maps?
No, Breath of the Wild from a little. There may be a tingle. Who knows? They could. Oh god.
No nest.
I love the way. You know what? I'm not going to spoil the way that you discover portions of the map. In the original, in Breath of the Wild, it was clicking your thing into a tower and it would just scan the area. The way that's handled in this one is exhilarating and far more. It makes you want to go and find all the map sections because it's a really fun way in which it's handled. And I would say on the stamina thing as well, I forgot that stamina is also your paraglider as well.
Yeah.
So I thought at one point when I leapt off an island, I'm like, well, the game's broken. I can just paraglide wherever I want. And then realizing I'd run out of stamina, and then you do need to land in water. So I'm diving, looking for water, unable to paraglide, and suddenly the traversing those sky islands, which I know becomes a major part of the game later on, that's the puzzle in itself. It's like, how can I get enough stamina? How can I get my vehicle to survive long enough to fly from point A to B? And I think that's where people have found the real joy in that area. So that puzzle solving will be great. I mentioned to Pete earlier, I had a real great moment of the, bring the footage back up. Let's see the game again. There was like an island surrounded by water. I couldn't climb up the side. And there was, again, a bunch of shit for me to play with. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? Do I make some kind of hover bike? And I made all these weird contraptions and every one of them flung me off in left, right, and center. I was rewinding, resetting. And eventually
Did you make a sad businessman boat?
A what?
Like a sad businessman boat.
What's a businessman boat?
Like the guy from the ad.
Guy from the ad.
Oh, the sad guy on the boat, on the bus.
On the bus.
No, I didn't quite.
But he was making a boat.
He made a boat and then he got happy.
In the game, he made the 3 logs and he put a thing on and he did a weird smile.
Because he made one log and then it tipped over and he was like, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
And then he put 2 logs and it still didn't work and he was like, damn it, what's the solution? 3 logs is the solution.
Solution was there's like 8 giant boards and I just glued them all together and went, and put this huge fucking ramp, just went on the side of the island. And it was a little solving puzzles with portals moment. It was like, I've got my solution to this, but it was also like, that is the ugliest solution to a problem I've ever made. It's not a balloon hovercraft flamethrower. It was just a big stick that I climbed up. And I'm like, I'm sure you can do that with a lot of the puzzles. So yeah, I'm glad Lord Phoenix did the same thing. But I can't wait to fall in love with this game, but I'm not there yet. I'm still dating this game.
You also had a big anticipation and a big build up, and it's very hard for anything
been a while
to
between
live
games,
up to those
so.
expectations. Are you enjoying the story? Has the story ever been a thing that you're kind of like...
Oh, can we talk about how shit Zelda is?
Okay, hang on. I'm intrigued by the fact that they haven't really given you much detail at the start of it. With no spoilers, there's an ancient race called the Zonai, and you're learning about them, their technology, and what they had to do with Hyrule. I like how mysterious that is. Peter is spot on. The opening cutscene, we can roll back to it, Josh, if you even want to see going down those tunnels.
We can play with audio.
If there's a way, if we scrub a little bit further forward and she's
insanely
insufferable
annoying.
at the beginning of this game. If you go a little further down, it's a cutscene of her looking at the walls with a torch, and if you
include stories of a great war fought long ago.
her voice was a little difficult
It was
to.
a conflict between allied tribes and someone only ever referred to as the Demon King.
Has she been excited yet? Is this where she gets overexcited?
Yeah, I think so.
She just.
Do not disrespect that.
Possible? Do these murals depict the same legend?
She's just.
And like, it's so.
The
It's
statues we saw earlier.
She's.
Azoi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these figures look like Hylians.
The fact that Link doesn't talk doesn't help this conversation.
That's the thing. It's actually not her so much as the direction of the game around it is that you literally have done nothing except run down tunnels, so you're not even able to play, and it keeps interrupting you with cutscenes where this one character is overexcited, and you're like, please shut the hell up and let me play the video game.
We haven't got to it yet, or maybe it was before, but she definitely is like, and these are the murals. And these are my ancestors. And look, over here. And you're like, and Link's just going, yeah. As a way to front load exposition, it's not ideal. Yeah. She becomes like, I think she's a kick-ass character in Breath of the Wild, and I think the idea is once what happens here, she becomes a guide for you in the story mysteriously, and I don't know what it's about, but I think she plays a much more like involved part in that. But it's just the way they definitely put it at the front, just a little too heavy, just a little bit too full on.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I've heard good things about the story, and I'm interested in the mystery, and the villain that I've seen in the first chunk. Fucking terrifying.
Like legit
legit scary.
uncomfortable.
Oh, I love that.
Like really, yeah. So hopefully, I hope it gets darker.
Take away the footage. It's about to happen.
Yeah, we'll skip from that. Otherwise, yeah, as I said, I think the best way I can put this is like, I cannot wait to be absolutely infatuated with this game. A little part of it had to do with time that I had to play and to enjoy, and some things went wrong while I was playing it, and it's just like given me a little like Pavlovian kind of response, and I'm like, oh god. But I'm very, very happy with it, and hopefully if things go right, I might be going steady with Tears of the Kingdom before we know it. So,
Lovely.
Very
So
exciting.
that's Gus with Tears of the Kingdom. Apparently, it's pretty good.
They try.
in a segment we're calling, what game am I trying to fuck?
It's a little bit good. Before we jump on to Will's game, I saw Zenobia is in the chat, and I want to thank Zenobia for this lovely, lovely gift. Steph, if you want to hold it, I'll read out the card that Zenobia sent as well. Zenobia said, "Dear Back Pocket, thanks for all the laughs, joy, info." Someone was watching the news segment tonight. And entertainment. But most of all, thank you for building such a fantastic open, accepting, and encouraging community. I have been so grateful for the community and the streams through all of the madness over the last few years. Please keep it up. So thank you so much, Zenobia, for writing into us. Really
This
appreciate
is
it.
needlepoint.
That's
Wow.
so cool.
And it's
spot on.
beautiful.
And I've
love
always
it.
said, you guys, as a community, are the most spam community I've ever.
The most
part of.
spam.
You're
The
the most spam.
We would tin you right up and crack it open at Christmas, you know.
Christmas!
Real
Oh, God.
special time of celebration.
Thank you, Zenobia. That's such a thoughtful, lovely gift.
The most nasty.
Nasty.
Hey.
You just say the magic word and
Nasty.
there he is.
Yep, Tears of the Kingdom. Will, it's been pretty hard for games coming out this week to get any airtime.
Yeah.
But you're playing something also pretty special.
Where you get to build little things.
Yeah. If there's three words I love to see in a game, it's Lego, Drive, and the number 2000. Love it. If I get those ones in a game, I'm all in.
All right.
Wow, this really is the game for you.
They wrote it for me.
You were stoked when this trailer came out.
Absolutely. This, from the off, seemed like my game, and thankfully, I'm just going to cut to the chase. It is.
Yeah,
it's
nice.
delightful. Obviously, it's a driving game. The allusions to Forza are very clear. It's an open world. More so open hubs. There's a bunch of different types of maps in the vein of Lego. They're just different kind of themed areas that just have a bunch of little races and challenges, and it is perfect. Like the driving style is more Forza than I think I was expecting. Like it actually feels like driving.
Rather than like a loose...
Yeah.
Because
like
it'd be like Lego
a kart
racer,
racer.
kart racer
Yeah,
games,
totally.
right?
Like I kind of expected kart racer, but the vehicles have good handling. The big function of it, which I don't think you'll see much of in this bit, but
Mushroom fucking up.
this is one of the lovely little challenges where you just have to go cut down some mushrooms. The big challenge is, you see here, the vehicle switches dependent on the land you're on.
That's so cool.
So you have an off-road, a kind of street racer, and also a boat.
And that's automatic based on you hitting the terrain.
Yeah, and it's
cool.
seamless. Like there's not a moment of lag. It's like sometimes you blink and it's happened.
Yeah.
And that's
Do you start with all those vehicles?
there's
Like you get one vehicle in each archetype.
yeah, totally. And very quickly through each race you get given the additional ones, and when they give you a vehicle, it has the supplementary. Like there's a boat version and a off-road version as well.
It's like Riders Republic, but
Yeah,
Lego.
totally. It also leans so heavy into the Lego like fun of it. Like this is a side mission where there's a bunch of robot cowboys invading a town.
Of course.
And so you got to rescue a bunch of little civilians and take them off. So like it's captured, I think probably for the first time, the kind of Lego movie charm.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like the way, even the way it's like done, the graphics, the lighting,
Yeah.
and the movement. Like this is definitely going for that sort of real world lighting style,
Totally.
which definitely feels like the movies, like
Yeah.
you mentioned.
And like there's little interstitial things. There's characters, much like the Forza games, that are constantly talking to you, and they
You're
feel
pretty hot out there. You want to join my garage?
It's in there. they do it.
You are
one of-
going off on social media right now.
Come pick up your race band and you'll qualify for the next round.
And it may delight or terrify that one of them is the voice of Invader Zim from the cartoons. He's in it quite a lot, and I still don't know after 20 years of hearing that voice where I stand with it, whether it's grating or love or like adorable. But yeah, so it's very much moving through little hub worlds and leveling up to be able to race and other things. The races themselves are very kart kind of racing. There's lots of little pickups and stuff through it.
That's the way I like it.
Wait, like weapons and stuff you pick
Yeah,
up? Oh,
yeah,
sick.
yeah,
Okay,
and they're
cool.
all
That's
brick
cool.
built and pop out of the car.
Fucking wish there were weapons in Forza, man.
Yeah.
I'd win every race.
Well, that's a fun thing as well, because Forza's done a few Lego expansions. This does feel
have a
separate to it.
comparison,
Like
yeah.
it doesn't. It doesn't feel like I've played this before over there as well. Like
Yeah.
this
Cool.
is its own sort of thing. And I think the transforming thing is a big part
It's
of
a
that.
very cool look. Like it just
Yeah.
as on a technical level, it just like it does seem like something that won't get old quick.
Totally.
Like it's super smooth.
There's not much in terms of the hub worlds. I think there's like 5 of them, and there's a good variety, but they're fairly small. And the little challenges, like the zombie cowboy guys,
Yep.
at the main screen, this is the other thing. There is a building component to
This
the game.
is what like
So cool,
literally got me
man.
super excited for this.
while it's on the screen, like as someone that builds a lot of Lego sets, very quickly you realize that most of the parts you need and would want are here, which a lot of the time they kind of lay down the basics, but this feels like they went to the vault and were like, okay, we need this to be in the game. And there's also like, there's currently a Lego category of the sets that are called speed races, and all the parts from those are there. So if you have the instruction manual, you could build the car that's next to you. And
That's pretty
which
cool.
is really
That's-
awesome.
Because Lego's always
Awesome.
toyed with the idea of. I remember from the first Lego game being like, "Oh, cool! I think we might have said this in like a Lego Star Wars. It's like I'm gonna get to build some cool stuff in game engine, and it was
Totally.
always that little like,
Yeah,
itself.
I
I was like,
it's just
oh,
an
okay.
animation that plays
Yeah.
out.
yeah, the creativity's kind of lost. And there's been some Lego racing games throughout the years that have always, I think, been like, and you can build your own car, but I don't think they've ever gone down to single brick by brick kind of customization.
Yeah.
I can imagine there'd be a worry that it would just be too tedious, because
so-
building something with your hands is very different to like using a thumbstick to select a piece and then drag it onto the spot and sort of figure things out that way. But if they've made it feel kind of intuitive and it's not too fiddly, then I can see that it would be fun.
It takes a little bit, and I actually found it was easier with a controller than mouse and keyboard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they've definitely nailed it down. There's nice shortcuts to make that kind of process.
And then I
good.
was quizzing you about what effect does it have on the actual vehicle handling and weight and anything. Is it noticeable, or is it really just like subsurface kind of?
Josh, if you go to the middle, to the other build that's in here, the middle of this clip, that one, I built a little TARDIS.
You bloody did, mate.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, it's a blue blasty shit.
Yeah. So that's all the weapons in the game. And there's, being a top-heavy kind of thing, it does kind of feel like it slides out a little bit more.
Cool.
And the more bricks you put on a build, it kind of slips into different weight classes as well.
Sure,
That's
yeah.
So there's like, I can't quite tell. Like,
I guess that's what you want because you can't build the
you don't want it to be
the
so
optimal
detailed.
racer in Lego. If you ever like played with it in real life as well, is just 4 wheels on one like long block. Like that's the best version of a vehicle. Anything you add is gonna just make it either break, topple over, or be slower. So I guess they don't want to ever make it like they don't want to stunt the creativity by saying if you try harder to make something cooler, it's just gonna drive worse.
Totally. Yeah.
So by maybe going, you feel a little bit different, but you're never going to affect.
And
the
you don't
vehicle.
want to. You don't want to be hampering the creativity of building whatever you want.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, it's super fun.
Is there multiplayer?
There's multiplayer. I think I did say there was like split screen as well, which is nice.
Cool.
So really good. And basically, at the front, like it's not on you. From the main menu, you can select all those little challenges you find throughout it. So it's like you can play everything without jumping into the hub world as well. So
yeah, watching a little
Why did you make it off-road vehicle as well?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the cool thing when you're building things, there's little base plates that it displays them, and the base plate that was for the off-road one looked the coolest. So I was like, I want to see it on that.
It was funny when Will was looking at the preview for this. We were looking at how to build the vehicles, and we were like, oh, let me know how this goes. I'd be curious. And then the base plates for like each of the cars on the display unit was like, one of them was like the Batmobile and had like, dark bits of Gotham. And he's like, oh, you get to build the base plates too? You don't. But the fact that you got excited over not building the car, but building the little diorama that it sits on is why we love you so much. Because I was like, if you could, and 2K if you're watching, which...
Skip past that.
What was that?
My Premiere was still open.
What were you cutting?
Yeah.
Was it this?
I was cutting the capture.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
The panic in Gus's face. What were you cutting?
So that also at the end, the cool thing is when you get hit with these power-ups, it's also Legoified. So someone hit me with one that put like steam timey paddles on the side of me. So then I started to go slow.
Oh, I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
What was that?
It's about to happen again? Okay.
It's about to happen. I mean, it's clever that they've got power-ups that aren't just when you get hit, you spin out. It's like you've literally got a crafting toy.
Yeah.
Like, why not make every ability and, weapon have some kind of Lego-style effect on it?
It's super cool, man. Yeah. I think
I love that
the
you've got
track
Did you
is
build the
so
TARDIS
cute.
from scratch?
Yeah.
That
So
is fantastic.
I can definitely, like, it's really, like, as someone that builds Lego as well, I went to bed and I was like,
there they are.
The
paddle wheels.
Yeah. Like it's got the thing that I'm sure people playing Zelda. I logged off and I'm like, oh, I wonder how's that brick. I wonder like I should have done it like that and then. Like,
have you tried a giant ramp for a car?
I should give that a go.
I find it works very well. In Zelda.
But that's Lego 2K and it's out tomorrow. So if you're fans of the Legos,
yeah, cool.
check it out.
Nice. That's very fun.
What was this preview on?
I was playing on PC.
Just PC?
Yeah,
but it's on everything.
The previews and everything?
Including Switch. Good
Still
one.
wants to know what the microtransaction situation is.
So there is a shop where you can buy extra cars, and you do earn like Lego bucks through it. But from what I could see, there was like an additional currency. So there may be a little bit. There's like a season pass for additional cars and stuff. But
I guess like if you're buying the Batmobile, are you just buying a pre-made thing of something that you could have used all your little blocks to make? Like if you've got the instructions and the
You
time.
figure it's sell like decals or something.
Yeah.
Like
That would
be
extra
cool.
bit
well,
of
there's like throughout the hub world, there's like stickers and stuff that you can pick up. So I'm sure there'd be specific little things to add to your model. But yeah, you could totally build it from
But I
scratch.
think I like the idea of just making a scuffed Batmobile,
Yeah.
like just like
And
your
then someone
best
drives
attempt,
up
your
in the
best
one they
attempt,
paid for,
your best attempt at one, and it would be always cooler than the.
They'd ride up next
totally.
to mine and be like, does it come in a mix of shit brick colors?
And just to clarify, because we were told there was a surprise coming, it was the TARDIS?
It was the TARDIS.
I love
Yeah,
it.
right, okay,
Freaking good.
Yeah.
I had one more.
That was a great surprise.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
It's not a surprise, but it's a surprise.
I had one more question about licensed stuff in it. There was a Batman car, like the Lego movie car. Is like
Well, from what I can see, there isn't any IP stuff in there yet.
Okay.
What we might have seen in that trailer might have been something styled to look like it.
Sure.
But I haven't seen anything specifically.
I wonder because
related.
it's 2K developing it.
Yeah.
Hence the 2K in the title, and I wonder where they lie in terms of they have the Lego license, but do they have the movie characters and all the shit that because Hot Wheels had all the last toy racer
the Batmans and
had
stuff like
Batman,
that, yeah.
Jurassic Park, Barbie, everything. It had all the things that Hot Wheels have an attachment to. So I'm curious what the Lego racer can do because there's a Lego everything.
Totally, and like I mean that would be awesome. Like that'd be a great DLC.
Or they
to
just
be able
promote
to-
you to keep making shit knockoffs like yours. and
upload
be
it to the thing, and
Yeah,
then sell it back to you.
That's kind of brilliant.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
no,
Amazing.
super fun.
Lego 2K Racer
Drive. Yeah.
Lego City Drive out
Of
tomorrow.
course.
Nothing from you this week? No?
I have not played anything this week. I'm so sorry.
You've been busy doing other stuff.
Yeah, I did not sleep last night.
I didn't get around to much either, but I did play the Layers of Fear demo. Layers of Fear was a 2016 horror game that stood apart in a time when like horror games on Steam were really doing big numbers and
Amnesia was really popular.
Amnesia was happening.
Yep.
And all those games had a bunch of systems in them, and Layers of Fear came out in 2016 and was just really a psychological story. And it was about walking through rooms.
Is it the one with a lot of paintings?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what the layers
of
were.
paint.
The layers were paint.
It was in BuriBuri team's own word, who are the developers, like crazy painter re-entering the house that he was painting in to finish his masterpiece and losing his mind in the process. BuriBuri team have gone on since the success of Layers of Fear to make Layers of Fear 2. But also they made
more layers.
more
Four
layers.
pliers of fear.
BuriBuri team made the World Swappy game for Game Pass.
Oh, the one I shot myself.
The one you shat yourself in.
The medium.
Oh,
The medium.
The medium.
Yeah.
The world swappy game.
Unless I'm heaps wrong,
I
but I'm pretty
remember
sure
that
BuriBuri team
having
worked on
some,
that. Because they're not subtle with their storytelling.
Sure.
The small, the medium, and large. It was the medium. Well
Back to
done.
back.
Well done, both of you. Well timed. And the medium I did really like. I think it didn't particularly stick the landing of the story and just the theme, like thematically. It was just really blunt. But I do think it had some really interesting beats in it. And so I was excited to see that they are making a new Layers of Fear. It is not a remake. It is a reimagining of the thematic and conceptual stuff that the first game attempted, but with obviously a modern engine and also a much more experienced development team. And so the demo takes about 20 minutes to play through.
Illegal gold.
Eligible.
Legible.
Clearly
it is. Yeah.
I mean, that's an interesting
Checks out.
through note in this entire thing is that no one's name is ever said, which clearly, like, and you're on a phone and it's like, hey, man, we need to know if it's like, like what?
This is a different way of getting around the Link doesn't talk situation.
Yeah, well, they're making a hard point of denoting that you do not know your name, and you are playing different characters in the same spaces, but it's another. The rooms are shifting around you. You interact with a thing, you turn around, something's moved.
So
sure.
Any connection to the original game, like in terms of
I don't know yet.
It's to do with losing stability and kind of spiraling in some kind of.
It's
dark
just about like psychological thriller.
I get
But
it's.
set
I don't-
in the
but
same
I
time
don't-
period, it looks like.
Yeah, but again, it moves through time and stuff. It's just
I get what they're going for as a developer, saying they made that game a long time ago. They clearly improved and they've got more to show off.
but also they nailed the brief with that first one.
I know,
it was just a
but-
simple idea. They're
calling it the same name.
Yeah, but that's the nature of franchises. People will see it and go, "Oh yeah, I want to."
I've played it before. I won't play this one.
this one's shiny new.
Yeah, but it's like Tomb Raider. You know, they just call
It's
that
like
Tomb
Lord
Raider
of the
again.
Fallens or Lords of the Fallen or whatever they call
Yeah,
their sequel.
yeah.
This should have been called Layer of Fears or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just found that a bit
At some
confusing.
point, I guess you just
I'm sorry, you're confused.
You run out of paint puns, and you're like, let's just wipe the slate clean.
Well, you know,
The fact
Layer
that
of
you had
Fear
to
again,
say
then
it's
we can just
not
go
a
up from there.
reimagining. Sorry, that it's not a remake. It's because that's the assumption you would make based on the fact that it is called the same name as a game they previously made.
It's like
Why?
when a band randomly decides to release an album midway through their sort of cycle, and they just call it
Self-titled.
Self-titled.
That really annoys me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay,
why
from now on, we're
why
gonna
is
be calling
now
it
your album self-titled?
2 Layers, 2
Layers,
Fears,
2
thanks to
Fears.
Fiona Zelda.
Very good.
So 2 Layers, 2 Fears is coming out early. They say early 2023. I believe it is. It has a June release date now. And it will be on. Thank you very much. Josh has changed the title. It's coming out on PS5 and the Xbox Series as well as PC. But it seems to be a much more like action-y, and this is just a demo, and they obviously wanted to show a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But I was very uncomfortable the whole time I was playing it.
Was it the hand action of when you said to take that off, and the hand goes?
I think they really and I didn't play the second Layers of Fear,
Which was called
Layers of Fear 2.
It's been a fucking week. Two Layers on Fear.
This is
the third
this
game.
is Lathria's.
Lathria's of Lathria.
So Lathria's is coming out next month, and it is shaping up to be the best Layers of Fear game yet.
It's the first game.
Yeah, it is. You bounce. The demo bounces you through a few different characters in different time periods, but you're definitely piecing together Layer X family. You're piecing together a narrative across time and across characters.
Okay.
So there's definitely a through line, and again with how blunt Bloober team tend to be, the fact that you're not getting given a name now is implying to me that this is all the same person with split personality or or there's something that connects them all in a way that is the reason that they're literally
Hiding
from
it,
the first minute not telling you what your name is, really heavy-handedly. So I am interested in playing it because I really like these games. I think this will, again, people will stream this because it's a horror game.
Totally. Well, you had a few jumps in the office when you were checking the last bit of this. Without spoiling it, the scares from what we saw was like you ripped back a painting and there was an audio cue and a flash frame. Like,
wow,
yes.
that's reductive.
No, well,
I was going to ask, there's psychological horror in this. Like, is the fear the unsettling nature of the whole way through? That, like, amnesia is things chase you. And, like, I'm trying to remember from the previous ones of these, like, what's the horror element that you're scared of or that you're...
Again, it's mood setting, right? It's it's the fact that you never fully are comfortable in the space because it shifts around you. And... tonally,
which I think
the
is great.
music
I like that there's not a big paint monster coming after you.
Well, there are, and I don't remember in Layers of Fear being chased by things, but there is literally a thing that chased me in one of the characters.
Yeah, okay, right.
And I had a tool to stop it from chasing me momentarily. So that
Paint
was
thinner.
really tense while I was running around labyrinthine corridors where the map was changing around me as well, and I had a puzzle to solve in another part of the map, and I was never sure where that was, or the thing that was chasing me was, and I might come around a corner and it's in front of me, which happened once, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah,
There's actually nothing worse
that
than
stuff.
being chased is scary in games, but something patrolling
While you're
darkly
trying to solve a puzzle, because
is
I'm bad at solving
terrifying.
puzzles, so
Yeah.
like I need all the help I can get. So then when I've got something that's just like appearing around the corner trying to kill me, oh my gosh. That's
Very quick tangent. I played a
very
game called
stressful.
Under a Killing Moon years ago. It's a FMV game, and there was a puzzle you solved while a robot with a syringe would move around the corridors, and it would
Jesus.
make a noise that would be like, not the Star Wars one, but like a sort of... And my friends and I at age like 9 and 10 would just shit ourselves. It was just like, do the puzzle, do the little like whatever puzzle, and you hear the noise. Oh, Tex Murphy. Fucking terrifying. Yeah.
That's all the sounds.
But yeah, you had a couple of jumps.
I had a couple of jumps in a 20-minute demo, so in a few-hour game, I'm sure I'm going to be shitting myself.
pretty good hit rate.
Pretty good hit rate.
Pretty good shit rate.
And
So that was Layers of Fear. Layers
Was
of
it?
Fear to 3X. You've been
20
playing
remake.
The Legend of Zelda Tears of the
I've
Kingdom.
been courting Tears of the Kingdom.
You've been courting. Soon to...
I'm going to seal the deal.
We all know how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
You can't say. Look up Goatsy, by the way. Lego 2K Drive.
Don't do that.
Absolutely.
Don't
All
do
or
that.
Nothing. That's what we've been playing this week. What have you been playing? Let us know later on. Here's some ads.
Cool. That should be good.
Hold on. Yeah. Great. So we just saved them in a folder marked patrons. And so for that one, it would be Mason, not Nathan.
Cool. Nathan.
No, tricky. I can see what happened there. It's Mason, not Nathan.
Cool. So Mason with an N, so Nathan.
I can't help but hear you say Nathan again. It is Mason. Mason is the fun one.
Nathan.
Let's go over this a few times. Okay, quick exercise. I'll say the word, you repeat it back. Mason.
Nathan.
Nope, Mason.
Nathan.
No, I'm thinking Nathan. Mason.
Nathan.
Nathan?
Nathan.
Ugh! Okay, Mason, not Nathan. Mason, not Nathan. Mason.
Nathan.
No, Mason.
Nathan.
Mason, not Nathan. Ready? Yep, go!
Nathan.
Mason.
Nathan.
Mason, Mason, Mason. What is...
Nathan.
Ah!
Nathan.
Mason?
Nathan.
No.
Oh. Nathan.
Wait, what?
What?
The thing you said before.
Nathan.
Fucking kill you!
Always remember, it's Nathan, not Mason.
Oh my god!
Hey.
Good enough. TIER.
Oh, because the different tiers of
TIER.
patron, that would be a different tiers. Which
Yeah,
is a different
is that what it
tiers.
is? And that's a tears.
That was tears.
But it could just be a play on the sound of the word.
Yeah.
Tears.
Tears, tears.
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 The
Of course, the
Patreon,
third
and
one.
they were Patreon tears.
Rocket.
Is it tears?
Tears.
And then my favorite part about that was when we were watching it and Will said, "Yep, that's a dick."
Yeah, and that was an ad break. We saw words from Fleyward there, as well as a brand new one there with Rhys, and of course our finest work with MasonNotNathan.
Fucking. that ad. That
It's
ad.
so good.
Everyone slap.
Come on.
No. Will, you slap him back. You
All
owe
right.
him some.
It's the penis.
That way.
Which way are you going?
Which is hard of you. I'm gonna go this way.
Whoa, hang on. Okay, backhand?
Yeah.
Wait.
Right?
I'm so confused. He's going to do the sound effect,
Yeah.
which makes me think, are you going to hit me?
No.
Oh.
What's happening?
Okay,
This
ready?
whole bit. Ready?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Good.
Do the thing where
Ready?
you
Ready? No,
where you
no.
break your nose.
He's actually bleeding.
No, it's the
Ah.
straight nose one.
Yeah.
Mm,
Is that one? Like.
How's the timing?
that's good.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh. There it is.
Oh, I don't like that.
The
at
noise
all.
change didn't work.
Yeah, you can pick it up.
Yeah.
That felt good.
That felt good? Felt good for me too. That was the words, and it's time for another segment. We're bringing it back. It's a piece of HistorMe.
Yes.
Ratchet and Clank. That dates this.
Yeah, totally.
Game Club. That dates this too.
Yeah, it is an old title card.
But that's kind of the point, right?
Yeah, it's a piece of HistorMe.
It's a piece of HistorMe.
Yeah.
Piece of the HistorMe of the show.
We've all had a piece of HistorMe at one stage or another,
Yep.
but Will hasn't.
I don't like
Who's-
that.
No, I'm just saying, you've played one, you've
Yeah,
played one,
yeah.
I've played one, Will
And
hasn't.
I played a few.
surely chat remembers their favorite. Mixed up Mother Goose.
Oh, no one liked that shit.
That was
It's
good.
Transport Surf all the way, man.
Lensmore, an exciting dive into a multi-user dungeon
Get some
entirely
graphics,
text-based.
Oh, the cheese and bread has gone off or whatever.
It was some bread and cheese has decomposed.
It's gone off.
Decomposed.
Yeah.
It's decomposed.
Some bread and chease decomposes because everything happens in real time.
Has decomposed. You've been given some bread and cheese.
Yeah.
every
Someone
time.
gave you free bread and cheese every time.
It has.
Sunrise, sunset.
MiddleCee?
MiddleCee, that's true. That's the thing that we do at the start of the, or the middle of the MiddleCee. It's where we sing a song in the key of C.
Sing a song, we do.
Sing a song in the
Eventually
KFC.
we do.
Oh, you will.
Eventually we do. But
You
first
know it.
I talk
Which
it.
Michael Bublé song has he picked?
Yes.
Yeah, no. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Rule that out.
Okay.
We didn't go the boobs. Well, we established that.
They
But
said all's fair in love and war.
it's a good song.
Baby did a bad thing. Wait, different song. Yep.
I'm not going to sing. All right. My lyrics that I've picked are from the song. No.
We have fun here.
We have fun here.
Had
Yeah,
you
that's
for
the
a
one.
second.
Okay, ready? Everyone set their brains. Here it comes.
Okay.
I wouldn't talk down to you. I have to tell you just how I feel. I wouldn't share you with another boy.
The boy.
Is that enough?
Do you have more?
I have more, but
Okay, hang
stew,
on.
in,
You have
stew in
more.
this for a second.
Yeah. Give it to us one more time.
I
I would.
wouldn't talk down to you. I have
know
to
it.
tell you just how I feel. I wouldn't share you with another boy.
Oh, I know it.
Don't
No.
look at chat.
Don't look at chat.
One more line for me.
One more line. I know my mind is made up, so put away your makeup.
I got it. Say a little prayer for you.
No.
No, forever and ever.
It's very similar tempo. Told
hang
you
on.
once.
No. I know. What was the last bit? Up to what we got.
I know my mind is made up, so put away your makeup.
You're right. Put a.
Told you once, I won't tell you again.
I
Yeah.
know makeup to put on your makeup, say a little prayer.
That's literally what I
Damn it.
said.
No,
Yeah.
it's still not it. Hang on. I know. One more time. The makeup bit.
I wonder if is people got it? Or maybe.
I'm not looking.
Okay, yep, I got it.
You got it?
Have a crack, though.
Makeup. Oh, I know that. I know.
It's your mum.
It's
Your mum.
It's his mum.
Oh.
Good, we got there.
Well
Roxanne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She does have a different song as her ringtone.
Yeah, you would think so, because that is about a hooker.
It is.
Have you heard there's, I don't know if this is actually real, but there's a drinking game that I've played that we got told was real, and it's the worst drinking game in the world. But you sit across a table with a bunch of people, so like three aside, and you all have a drink in front of you, and you listen to that song, and one side drinks when they hear Roxanne, and one side drinks when they hear Red Light.
Oh.
And you think, oh, that makes sense. It's like, Roxanne. One side,
don't-
you
yeah.
don't have to put on your red light. And you're like, oh, this is
Yeah.
great. It all keeps going. The end of that song,
Roxanne.
put on your
Oh, no. Yeah,
Put
wow.
on your
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Everyone threw up. Like, it was the foam throwing up. It was just, it was wild. So, play it at home, kids.
Play it at home. Thank you, MiddleCee, for sponsoring what just got described.
And thank you to all the sex workers out there.
Let's play.
Cut to tingle.
Why not?
It's me. There's mums in the chat.
Hey, it's me.
Yeah, yeah. It's logged. Twitch is logged in
Is she
as
a
me.
police
so-
fan?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Stings.
Sting.
Stings still got it, man.
Oh,
He's
man.
awesome.
Every one of
That
those songs
song that
just
he did
holds
with
up.
Ray.
Oh, what could have been from Arcane?
Yeah.
Mm.
The only good song on that whole fucking album.
Oh yeah.
Fields of
What the
Gold.
fuck?
That's a god.
Fields of
He's
Gold.
saying that just to bait me. What a shithead. I
Oh,
downloaded that again so I can watch it on the plane for the fourth time.
Amazing.
Wait, what? The
Yeah,
whole
good.
series?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad, man. It's like it's in deep.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm obsessed. It's been a lot. Yes, Josh. Yes, Josh.
Trash can.
It's been a long time since I've been this obsessed with something.
It's legit good.
Trying to
It's a
keep
good
it.
show.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to keep it
It's a good
like
show.
under wraps, but it's
Good
hard.
animation.
It's hard. It's hard.
What else is good, Will?
Maybe not good animation, but I'm jumping into a game from my childhood. It's Croc, everybody.
It's Croc.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
Is that the noise?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
his
This
little
isn't
noise.
just Croc. This is Croc
Legend of the Gobbos.
Legend of the Gobbos.
Which I think the sequel is just Croc 2. They didn't bother.
Croc 2.
They didn't bother with
It's
another.
a whole Croc.
And the third one was just called Croc again. to
Laser
confuse
Fears.
Gus.
Yeah.
Tell us briefly about your history with this game, because again,
Yeah.
for anyone who doesn't know, this is a segment where we bring up a game from our memory, childhood, something that we played that maybe the rest of us haven't
Yep.
played here,
Yep.
and we tell us a little bit about it.
I just remember this so vividly because there are so many mascots of this era, and
Yep.
I played maybe one or a little bit of Crash, probably at a kids club at a local
Gathering.
Yeah.
on a sticky controller,
and on a
less.
sticky controller. Like I played all of those, but this is the one that I had, and this is the mascot that I remember the most as a kid.
Amazing.
There's a little bit of
Oh, it'll come back.
Okay.
Just wait for a second.
and yeah, but I mean, Croc is technically, we'll get into it. Technically, would have been one of the first 3D platformer games if it had done the thing that it was supposed to do. But
Interesting.
first, let's check out the intro because I can't remember it. But Gus, you were saying it's
It was pretty wild. We booted this up, and we're like, what the fuck is going on?
So this is the land of the Gobbos.
When was this released?
I'll find out for you.
Yeah, please.
It was released.
1990.
Probably before.
Is that a boat? No, that's a crib.
Yeah. So this is the story
That's a
of
gobbo. That's the gobbo king.
No, but the baby inside the thing.
Yeah.
It's reeds, and that's Moses,
Moses.
right there.
Yeah, I
It's-
think that's Moses.
It's
There he is.
It's Croc.
Croc and Moses.
Croc and Moses.
Are they gobbos?
Was that set in Egypt?
Yes.
The Moses story? I guess
Yeah.
it was, wasn't it? He goes,
Yeah,
like,
River Nile.
fucking sign
Obviously,
down the
obviously.
thing.
Guys, focus on Croc. Focus on Croc.
Croc has arrived with the land of the Gobbos, who at this stage are bigger than him, but he grows up to be. We're seeing like a tale as old as time.
So Croc
Yeah.
thinks he's a
I
gobbo.
just love the little gobbo king crown. It's
Yeah.
super cute.
It's very sweet. The thing that I always, and it's the same with going back to Banjo and stuff, what's able to be done with so little is
Yeah.
always so wild.
Totally.
I
Yeah.
love the idea of somebody messing around in this software and creating this sort of spiky ball thing and being like, that's something.
That's done. That's a
Two
creature.
spiky balls is a character.
97. This came out.
Yeah.
As old as me.
97. I was close. I said 98.
There you go.
Wait, this is as old. You were born in 97?
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Which is why I missed like a lot of the mascots because
Yeah.
I came back to games. and-
Yeah, for sure.
But
I remember this guy.
this is the baddie.
So I never played this. This was a PlayStation game, right?
Yeah.
It was.
this
It
is-
was. I feel like you were Croc or you were Spyro.
But Spyro was also a PlayStation game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's the
yeah.
thing. They were
So
kind of
if you
competing for space in the same.
What about
Territory.
when was Ratchet and Clank and
Crash Bandicoot 1 was 96.
Crash.
So
Yeah.
Crash just came out the year before.
Yeah.
And Mario 64, which is the king of all the platformers,
Yeah.
came out in 96.
Yeah.
So Crash and Mario come out in the same year, and this is, in my opinion, no direct offense,
Yeah.
kind of like that poor man's mascot where everyone was just diving on the 3D platformer
Totally.
train. You had your Gex.
Yeah.
You had your
Remember
Crocs.
this.
I mean Spyro.
You had your
and
Spyro. I'll find Spyro.
is
Yeah.
My cousins
huge.
had this on PC. That's how I played it.
I did
wow.
too. I had
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
could play on a school laptop, and it was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, a 3D game on a
Here it is. Very similar to all the collectathons back in the day.
The backwards walk though.
I know. Yeah. Look at that little,
Okay.
look at that little shuffle.
That, I
It
mean,
looks like,
that's
have you
interesting.
guys seen?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that tweet that Ruby did where she talks about Yoshi throwing it back in a melancholy way?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I came across that tweet because someone that I follow who's like completely unrelated and
Yeah.
has like a gajillion followers shared that tweet. And I was like, that's Ruby's tweet.
Ruby 2 weeks away.
Ruby 2 weeks away.
2 weeks
So
away.
funny.
2 weeks away.
Anyway, he looks like he's throwing it back in a melancholy way.
Spyro 98. So a year
Yeah.
later, Spyro drops. So at the moment, this is
Okay.
doing its thing where it's. Oh, I also want to look Rayman 3D.
Yeah.
Which was pretty awkward 3D.
So the biggest thing though about all the Croc saga is that the team that ended up creating this
Yeah.
originally pitched it to Nintendo as a Yoshi game. And they were pitching this before Super Mario 64 came out.
Right.
So they pitched what basically became Super Mario 64, obviously with the more popular.
And we're talking
Mario.
pitch, so this is like years before the game comes out.
They pitched
so
the idea of a 3D platformer, basically.
Yeah.
And Nintendo were like, not now, go away. And so they went to make Croc, and then in the meantime, Nintendo were like, let's make with the Super Mario.
Yeah, not
So
bad
they-
ideas around.
Yeah.
Because this is Argonaut, is the
Yep.
developer. Argonaut Games. And yes, released in 97. And the game initially started development
You're good
shortly
at this.
following a successful
Still in me.
relationship
yeah.
between them with Nintendo, with the former creating
Back
a
up.
processing chip for
Back it
the
up.
Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Holy shit! Argonaut Games created the processing chip for the Super Nintendo called the Super FX chip. And that was what they used for Star Fox and those games right at the end of the Super Nintendo that... No. Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
Before the 64,
yeah.
you played Star Fox, where it was like really weird 3D on the Super Nintendo. It was those weird kind of like polygonal big shapes and stuff. Argonaut Games created the Super FX chip, which was people going, holy shit, 3D. And then they're like, no, wait, here's the 64. This is what real 3D is. But that's massive.
That's so cool.
So they're well involved in the like kind of the 3D.
And then where are they now? Is kind of the question.
Yeah, genuinely, it's very hard to describe. If you've never played a video game before, this will be exciting to you. But otherwise,
So this was kind of like your first game?
yeah, it totally was.
I can't figure out if it's like, I guess it's hard when you're creating something from scratch, because when you kind of follow something like a Mario game from 2D into 3D and everything feels iconic, whereas so much of this stuff feels like very generic shapes and
Totally.
like there's elements of it that feel like they lack personality, even though I have really fond memories of it. And I wonder if that's just a symptom of it just being not having come from 2D roots that you're already kind of attached to.
That's a good point.
We're definitely benefiting as well from looking at this running on a modern PC at a smooth frame rate.
Yeah.
And in a
In
high
widescreen.
res.
Yeah.
Where, imagining this in 4:3 and like
And you
the
had to
actual,
fight to get
the
access to
actual
that
look
TV.
of the original PlayStation being like not great for aliasing. Or just really, really harsh lines and
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, the CRT. Lava. Oh no, you lost. You
Also,
lost.
just as like
Jimmies.
a quiz here. So we're collecting the gobos.
Yeah,
Because every good 3D platformer
you gotta
needs
collect the critters.
collect the critters.
And
We're also
but
just
you're
collecting...
ultimately going to rescue the Gobbo King.
Totally.
That's the
But
shortcut.
are you doing the Sonic Rings thing here, where it's just like you need the gems, the whatever...
to keep you running. Yeah, totally.
The D50s by the looks of
It
it.
does have a little bit of that.
Because if you die
on.
now...
There we go. You do have lives as well, but totally, if you end the level with nothing or get killed with a zero,
Yeah, okay, right.
you're in a bit
You're
of
just
strife.
smashing through this, by the way.
I'm surprised. Oh, there's a little bit of a glide on the edge of that.
Again, like as you said, Steph, it's funny to look at this kind of stuff now and be like, oh, this isn't really that original. But it's like, right now, this game's competing with, at most, 3 other platformers. Where you're right, when it comes to like platforming mechanics and like things to keep the levels interesting, you don't have a huge well to draw from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so-
I guess I'm just looking at those.
Minigame!
keep an eye on it.
Minigame!
Minigame.
Oh, shit, yeah. Middle, right,
Middle,
middle,
right,
right, middle, right, middle,
Oh,
left, middle,
that's fucked.
middle,
That was-
left.
oh.
Far right.
Yeah.
Far
yeah,
right.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, you guys are so confident.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus, hit the...
Oh no, he's a
Jump on
double,
it.
it's a double jump. There he is.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we're-
Spiceman said left.
Look at
Come
that,
on.
What the hell?
That dynamic lighting on the.
Yeah. I feel like it's just like some of the shapes and things that you kind of interact with seem like, I guess, nondescript.
Yeah,
like,
it's there to serve its purpose.
but then I guess when you think about it, so is everything, like Sonic's rings and
Totally. And like
coins and all
platforms
that kind
just
of stuff,
moving
like-
for the sake of platforms
yeah,
is like...
yeah, all of that stuff, I guess, was
And this is all
generic.
informed by 2D platforming, which
Yeah,
came
yeah.
before, and they've gone, what does that look like in a 3D environment? So it's not strange that they're collecting things because Mario collected coins.
Oh, no,
and
neither.
it's just it's how games were built.
Yeah, literally
Yeah,
before that
yeah,
on a
yeah.
2D plane,
Yeah.
they were just platforms had to do that. And in a 3D world, it looks silly. You're like, why is that there? But on a 2D plane, it makes a lot more sense.
And as Nicrotex points out, in 1997, these were the first games. They were building the engine and a game.
Yeah.
yeah,
Whereas
totally.
these days, like you look at something like this and you go, I can imagine what the modern version of this looks like, and it's built in Unreal Engine in an afternoon.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
guess I'm just like, why
so much
did
of the hard work is done in building the assets and the physics engine and
the lighting, everything.
all of the
look over there.
script that tells how to be light and all those things. So
I'm just wondering why Croc didn't endure.
It's a good question. He had everything else going. He had the cartoon eyes, the backpack, cute little set of moves.
the thing that I will say about it,
Tail wiggle.
the thing that I'll say about it against Banjo-Kazooie, which is like unquestionably the actual king of 3D
we're talking like
platformers.
Banjo-Kazooie must have been like 99 or something. Like it had a bit of a run.
I don't think it was
I don't
much.
think-
I think
no,
it was.
I
I
think
thought
it
it
was
was.
around-
Definitely had a bit of time ahead of Mario. I'm
Yeah,
I'm gonna have a look.
It did
but
have
yeah.
a little bit, but I can't remember how much. I thought it was 98, but
Could be right.
yeah, 98.
Banjo was 98, yeah, okay.
So it was informed by other things, but it has character and story heavy at the top, which give it impetus.
Yeah.
And even if the game doesn't play better, and I think I would argue that this looks like it doesn't play as well as a Banjo-Kazooie either, but because it's got more to do with like combat and stuff with Kazooie in the backpack, and there's just options. But
What's in Croc's backpack?
Sorry,
What's in Croc's
Croc's
That's
backpack?
where he stores all the
bird.
gems.
He puts gobbos in there.
Yeah.
I don't like the word gobbo.
Well, look, it's changed meaning over years.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was
okay.
I mean, when I was in school, it was definitely a gobby, not a gobbo.
Yeah.
And
It's
it
too
wasn't a
close,
legend.
though, right?
And it was a legend back then.
Yeah.
Have you not got a key?
I got a key, but I think that was for someone else.
So you're just going to leave him?
It's too close to gobby, yeah. yeah.
I gotta get up there. There it is. I gotta use the monitor in front.
Maybe
is
I only played
some
Croc
hard
2 because I thought Croc was open world or semi-open world.
But you seem to be going to...
a lot bigger for sure.
Yeah, interesting. And you seem to be going to an overworld, like a
Yeah,
Donkey
it's
Kong
similar.
Country overworld.
Yeah, well, it's similar to a Crash or a Mario. Well, not so much Mario.
Is it a hub?
I
I
guess.
thought you were just going next.
It's just
Donkey Kong Country kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
sure.
but that's not a hub.
Ooh.
I got enough
That's an
gems?
overworld.
No.
You gotta
What are you
have
missing?
you gotta have
Oh,
all
you're
the
missing-
color
missing
crystals.
red.
Red.
Let's go find red. Look at that fucking door. It's so
there is
exciting.
some joy about just backseat gaming a platformer. Don't you hit that gong.
Oh, I couldn't be bothered.
You coward.
I pressed it.
Also, like, you're right. The logic in the world of moving platforms and stuff is one thing, but also like from a game design, they're not phoning cutscene.
Oh, here we go. Story.
This is the story. This is
Here's the
story
narrative
we've
you were
been
after,
lacking.
Pete.
Yeah.
Oh, the fuck?
Oh, it's
Yes.
I was gonna say a spoiler for Guardians. That's like there's a Marvel character that like turns little creatures into his kind of next generation species.
Is that what he just did to that?
Yeah, he just
So that's
brought
an
them-
enemy that he just made.
Yeah. He turned out of the creatures of this world, he turned into an enemy.
Why does that platform have a bunch of arrows on it?
I think
It's a sphincter. It's the.
oh, God.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no.
I was
That
using
was-
I was using the stick that
It's
didn't exist.
it's the flag from Community.
I think you can move with it's kind of
You
like
can choose the direction.
You can
of
go
it, yeah.
that's pretty
It's
cool.
letting
Yeah.
you know.
This is amazing. Like I'm not even
Oh my
shitting you.
God.
That's amazing. That's actually amazing.
Well,
Yeah.
these are they wanted to innovate and they didn't get to with the big leagues, but they're
I've
putting
just-
it into this.
I have definitely realized that I played Croc 2 and not this
It's funny
one.
the PlayStation wasn't the big leagues back then.
yeah, totally. Yeah.
But again, I guess like getting a sequel, like it's doing everything right, and
that. I'm
you know,
too good for
Get that
when
heart. Get the heart. Get the heart.
he's just plowing on.
He's plowing
Just
through.
flying on.
We're doing a speed run.
Keeping it pacey.
Now this is Crash.
Yeah.
Oh, it totally is.
Very linear, very corridored.
I hate platforming like this where it's like you have to judge distance. I'm very bad at judging distance.
I mean, I think we played something a while back, Steph, and I was like, "It's watch that shadow. It's all about that little shadow. You just your eye has to be there the whole
totally
time.
The shadow, you're right.
Back it up. Back it up.
Yeah.
Dump truck boy.
It's because he looks
Oh,
very
shit.
shy
Oh,
too.
boss fight. Holy shit.
I can't do this.
Oh my
on this
God, this
Oh
arena
my
is
god,
crazy.
it's so unhinged.
shit.
Pick up your things, or you just do you play rogue? You just need the one.
That guy.
What the fuck
He's
is
so
that?
chaotic. Look at him.
Yeah,
All
there's
of
no-
it.
He's like Mr. Bean doing a dance with his
Oh,
arms.
that's coming out of the pocket next week.
Kick him in the
That's
star
up.
crotch.
I can't even. It's hard. It's
Kick him in the star crotch. He's just wanking the air.
I know, but
His shoes are so big.
doing this with directionals is very hard.
Yeah.
Because
Have
I've
you?
gotta
You
kinda-
don't have a.
Boom.
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
Boom.
Oh no! Dark
didn't
Souls
really-
it. Fuck.
Oh,
Pick up.
get
Pick
a
up
gem.
one.
Get a gem.
No,
Pick up
I
one.
can't. I can't.
Oh, you're wild. You're
Oh,
wild.
there it
You're
is. You're on.
wild.
Oh,
Stop everybody!
what are you doing? Hit
He's
him.
tired. He's
Nice,
tired.
nice.
There
He
we go.
bonged him.
That was
Alright.
that damage.
Surely one more.
I think
Surely
that-
one more.
yeah.
I think you have to hit his little crutch stuff.
Yeah, maybe it's a front damage. Get off me!
Just spin at him.
Off me.
You don't have a double jump or. Oh,
damn it.
Pick it up. It's your only one. Turn.
There we go.
Hit him now. Hit him now.
Now jump.
Oh shit!
Boss
Fuck.
sucks.
I think you do.
Nice.
Run. Oh my god, the tension.
Stop moving! I need to get this man.
I think you need to wait till he stops. And I think the behind was
Jump.
the right.
Fuck. Oh.
Fucking nailed it. Nice one.
Shit game. No.
Yeah,
no.
I'll take it all back. That's
What
all right.
Perfect. Nailed it.
What happened?
Have you befriended
God
it?
gamer.
Yeah, I think we're mates now. Look, I'm wagging my tail.
Yeah.
Okay, I need
Yeah.
to see what happens.
Maybe we turn
He's
him
gonna
back
shrink
into
back
a little.
down.
Yeah.
there
Turn
we
him into
go.
a dog.
Yeah, little ducky.
And a croc would eat the dog.
Yeah, he would.
Bye.
Bye. What's this thing doing?
I was saying the logic of the game going like progression. What do? Hit a gong.
Yeah.
Why? Because you do.
Oh,
Croc
boy.
dong.
Do we want to see more? Or are we...
Show us the next world. At
Yeah,
least go
yeah,
in there. If it's
yeah.
just green with brown walls again, then I'm probably good.
Yeah,
I feel like we're not getting much else. But
You need more green with brown walls before you move on to the next world, surely.
Which is what?
Yeah,
Snow?
you're gonna be
Yeah,
yeah.
lava.
You're gonna get to world 1.8 before you get to world 2.1.
Can we talk about the fact of where we got this game? It's on a website called Abandonware.
Oh, I've seen that.
not so
At least-
abandoned.
Oh shit!
Hey, he's got it.
Yeah.
Not so abandoned.
Not so
Yeah,
abandoned.
I
Oh,
found
can we
it.
read the fucking pamphlet?
Oh yeah. Let's see what's on this.
box.
Remember when discs didn't stay in boxes?
Oh, and
Yeah,
also
the
all
teeth-
the
the teeth
little
broke.
plastic things broke off. Yeah, so
Anyway,
annoying.
there's no. It's just this.
Oh.
There's no. There will be a back at least.
Yeah.
Look.
This is hard.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that. You can
That's
see the
sick.
full crew.
It's so
whole
sad.
Croc
Even
crew.
opening like Tears of the Kingdom, you open that case, and
What a
there's
case.
the tape, there's the space for a pamphlet, and there's nothing in it. I mean, I know they're trying to be environmentally friendly,
Yeah.
and I totally respect that. But why is it still in a giant plastic case?
It was
This
such a tiny
little
little card.
SD
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
Is there a
You
blurb on the back, like a
bastards.
descriptor of the game?
There is, yeah.
Please read it away while I.
5 different 3D worlds to explore,
5?
including volcanoes, ice
Straight with lava.
glaciers, and underwater caves. Help Croc, the hang on. Croc's got the moves.
Yeah, he does.
Help Croc, the crusading crocodile, rescue his peace-loving gobby friends from the grasp of the evil magician Baron Dante.
So you gotta knock
So
that
Baron
dude.
Dante is the guy that turns people into other things.
Baron Dante.
Guide him through a beautifully rendered 3D world. As
bonk
we can
mate.
see, you're looking at the
Questionable.
you're looking at the beautifully rendered 3D world right now. On a
Does Croc have a first
freewheeling,
person?
It's certainly rendered.
free
I don't
roaming
think so.
adventure against the evil Baron and his devilish assistants, the Dantinis.
You got a bonk off,
It
mate.
sounds like a a cappella group.
The
Dantinis.
Dantinis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I show you the full screen? Can I show you the control I've
Dantinis.
just discovered in the game?
Yeah.
There's jump and spin. There's sidestep.
Oh, so cute.
Slide to
Croc,
the
just a
left.
little to the
Slide to the
line.
right.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
One up, one time.
One up, 2 times. Why is this a move?
The
Fuck
little
off.
toes are so cute.
You don't have nothing.
This is interestingly printed on the back of this. Free roaming, stunningly rendered, real-time 3D gameplay lets you go anywhere as you run, jump,
Sidestep.
climb, swim. ... 8 dots.
8.
8 dots, and they didn't put an
see?
end.
They weren't sure what else they were going to put in the
you
game.
run, jump, climb, swim. It's just like
Swim.
swim.
Etc.
Whatever
And
else,
so on and
whatever
so
else
forth.
you can imagine.
We'll work out the rest.
Yeah. Put copy here.
The real question is Croc due for a reboot? Or has there been some attempts?
I don't think there's been any. I know when I looked up some footage of this earlier, there was the usual of like, this is next, right? And I would kind of love it. Like, I mean, they did. What's the kangaroo one they recently did a
KO?
KO the kangaroo.
KO
the kangaroo got a reboot.
That's
yeah.
pretty left field.
So reboot, I thought that was a new game.
it was a new game. Yeah.
It's an old mascot though.
Yeah.
It became one of Argonaut's most successful releases, selling over 3 million copies for the PlayStation. A sequel to the game was released in '99. Yeah, so it did well.
Yeah.
40 levels.
It's pretty good.
Well,
Obviously, the closest thing we've had recently is Ukulele, which is some of the old Rare team.
but even then, they kind of they didn't strike out, but they went hard with we're gonna make a spiritual successor, and then they kind of didn't nail it, and then they went with the Impossible Lair. As
Yeah,
a
yeah,
side
yeah,
scroller,
yeah,
and they
side
went with the.
scroller,
I think we
which
talked about this. They went with the
Yep.
retro style, like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and people really love that. I didn't love it. I found out. Did it for Spawn Point? I think
so,
potentially?
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
found it a little too difficult.
Yeah.
They're still
Yeah.
making Beyond Good and Evil?
No.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's very shelved, but
yes,
it's-
no.
yeah.
That's abandonware.
That is
Yeah.
definitely
That's
abandonware.
vaporware.
Oh, man, I'm
pretty
so
much at this
excited
point.
to hear people's podcasts in the game. That was going to be a cool.
That
Like,
was the thing.
it was Joseph Go to Levitt or something got up and it was like, we've got this campaign where you can submit things, and so the world was going to be populated with fan art and podcasts that.
Press record or whatever. Hit record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My trauma from playing through the like remaster or remake of the original, because I never played the original, but they did like a re-release of it, was like there's this really poignant moment where one of the characters, Piggy, dies, and there's a
Spoilers.
achievement that comes up that goes, smells like bacon.
Oh.
And it was this just really like sad moment. And then that was the achievement. And I was like,
Huh. What how the fans take that?
was that in the original?
Yeah.
This thing
That's
up.
very. Gus is so.
I can't get this.
You're so
fucking
determined.
Fucking
Oh no.
Stop getting hit, mate. Go and hit the gun.
And then old mate keeps respawning.
doing cartwheels, and I
Yeah.
can do this.
I can do this.
Ready?
Stomp him. You got to do it.
Jump.
Just follow the.
Oh, fuck off.
Why are you jumping at him? Wait till he comes up and then hit him.
He
Have you never played a video game?
Oh my God, the attitude, Peter.
There's a banjo fan
Hit him.
coming out.
Oh.
Wait, you reckon I have to bump stomp?
See, because he can hit you through the ground, so I reckon you can.
Sidestep. Damn
To
it.
the left.
This is it.
Yes.
And then
Nailed
that's nothing.
Nothing. Did nothing.
Oh, actually, inside now. Inside the cave. If you don't die.
Don't die.
Ascend.
Nice.
Another butt stomp.
Inside there. Maybe. Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh,
Game
Nothing.
Oh, look, I'm the vines. Oh, what am I looking at?
there's something up there.
Huh?
I got nothing. I'm so sorry.
Huh?
No.
This
Good
has
work,
been a piece of history.
This is a piece. And then. Good stuff. We should litter the walls with the games we've played.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea. Or what about a stack?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can put a
stack of
3D stack of
cases.
games, and the
Yeah,
more we add
nice.
to it, Transworld Surf.
Yeah, we should jump
other
into that.
shit
We should jump
ones.
into that project file.
We should do that.
We should do that. We should find that
Is
project
that
file.
one of the things that you lost?
What?
Just how much
cool is
stuff?
anything?
How
Nothing
much
is
stuff did you
nothing's ever
lose?
really on a failed hard drive, as George Lucas famously said.
Was it like?
Yeah, he
was it
said-
actually everything?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Wow.
Yeah.
But not these.
Not these words.
Do you know what
Ready?
these boxes do?
No,
Yeah, I
that's
would
not-
also like to know.
We'll
come back to
We've
that later.
spoken about it
Yeah.
already.
Okay, it's so hard to just let me just ask a f***ing question and get a fucking answer.
We literally just.
All I wanted to f***ing ask.
Oh my god, Bishop.
Now that we're through, can I ask
Thank
a
you,
question? What do you think those
Reese.
boxes are for?
Oh my
No fucking
god.
idea. Those
We
boxes look
literally-
weird.
Oh my god.
But
5
they won't
runs
just show
ago,
us
I
one
was like,
right
man, I just found some weird Vex looking boxes. I wonder what they're for.
Wait, wasn't
wait.
that like similar
I
to the
didn't
stuff
hear
that
you
was
say
in the
that,
last
which is
section?
why I wanted to ask the question, because that's how language works.
Oh,
You
what the?
absolute
Bye,
dickbag.
There's a way of life which grants the grace of eternal divinity, where the waning light of the celestial body pours through the broad canopy of a silver-winged tree to bring the peace of 1,000 sleeping cabal pups, in which the embrace of a mother Kale and her tenderfoot daughter evokes the ageless whisper of a love deeply known but often unseen. The silent and vigilant persevere for the good of the many, shunned by the arc wielders and the fusion tossers, but closer now to truth than e'er before. Through the thankless act of generating heavy by the power of Aeon's grasp, those chosen may find salvation. And through it all, an everlasting ray. Join your local evangelists of the One Ray Commune today, and bask in the All-Father's rays for evermore. EvaRae.
Think of how life used to be before the faded stars pulled me deep into your orbit and made me bust these bars. Though I long to taste your sweet lips, I know I must withhold. Warns your aposematic body, ooh, you must not lick the toad. But when eyes meet, I must confess I'm enamored by your lens. Black marbles dangle wet and bright from flaccid fleshy stems. Dear Turgle, you're a monstrous beast. We see we are no fools, but hearts are strange, and Lucas claims in space love has no rules.
I'm really busy, Cal. Maybe later.
Skateboard. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Shit, I don't know how I'm gonna get home now.
Welcome back to Back Pocket. I'm not going to do that bit. That's no one like that at all. But the rap was fun. Thank you so much to everyone for sending in your words there. We saw words from Lucashoratio and a pawn called Bishop because that's how language works. Damn it. And we also saw an ad for the Church of EvaRae.
Love that one.
Kentucky.
Great. I love Pyro appearing at the barbecue. What a great moment.
Yeah.
Just to no one's going to give me a piece? No? All right, fuck you. Lovely cameos by those two as well. And we also saw a little bit of one of our socials, the aforementioned Turgle rap.
Turgle! Yeah, we figured it out, guys. We figured out
We
TikTok.
worked out TikTok.
Yeah.
It's got 4 views. So
It's got 4 views. We
My
worked out...
mum watched it.
She did?
Probably. Maybe she didn't.
Probably. We worked out TikTok. If you haven't worked out TikTok, head to Back Pocket Vids at TikTok and you can give that video a like and a comment.
Did you put the other version in the Discord?
No.
We will find it at some point.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone, all
Damn
right?
it. There was this whole bit, Gus filmed the whole rap in front of a green screen, rapping to it with a backwards hat and doing
you know
this
what?
stuff.
We technically could, yeah.
It's
on there.
It's fucking sick.
It's on our thing.
It's awesome.
Sans
And
Lucas.
then everyone had a meeting and decided that it was better without Gus in it. And I came at the end going, no, the one with
Pete,
Gus in it.
Posher.
But it's so good.
Posher.
It's in
It's
there.
so
Posher.
good.
We'll play it full screen. We'll play it full screen.
Yeah.
We'll play that
It's
version.
Sans Lucas.
We'll play that version full screen on the post show if we can get it to Josh in time, so you can check it out there. But yes, if you're not following our socials, please make sure you're checking us out. Back Pocket Vids and everything there. All right, let's crack on with the last.
I just want to point out, I wanted to come back to, because I was like, where the fuck did they come from? And it took so much energy and no one's watching it. But it was at 5:36 one evening, Ben dumped a bunch of ideas and thoughts and stuff about in a socials thread on our Slack, and there were just a bunch of really good ideas and different facets of things. And one of the notes, there were headline thought. One of the headlines was Turgle. We should make a funny video about Turgle. People love Turgle. I want one of us to dramatically read a love poem about Turgle or something like that. So that came through at whatever, and we were doing a job. And then I was I drove home. So then at 10:10 that night, I said, Turgle poem /rap. And then the 4 stanzas of that poem. And then the next day I was like, you should rap that. And you're like, all right.
I will never back down from a rap challenge. I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And so not only was it then rapped in the studio, we rapped last week when Montaigne was coming in. I was like, we have to film this and record this before the actual musician gets in here. Then you're like, quick, do it in front of green screen. And I'm like, sure. And I think at that point Ruby came in. I was like, hey, how's it going? All right, let's do this. And it was just straight into it. So we have that. We have it all in green screen. We have the rest of the Turgle rap, the uncut version. And if you want to see that, you have to sign up for the post show by being
what a tease.
at the appropriate tier on our
we should play
Patreon.
the green screen clips.
Oh yeah.
We could just give people the green screen clips as
we
well.
record to be...
We don't have the nice clean ones, but
no, we'll have the
we recorded
mix
backup
probably.
vocals.
Might only have a couple of them.
Yeah, that's all right.
You can hear our voices in the background. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that.
There's Yoshi throwing it back in a melancholy way when he places third.
Oh yeah.
Look at that little swirl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still sexy. It's a little bit sad.
Never stopped being sexy, Yoshi.
Yeah.
Lovely. All right, something else that never stopped being sexy and fun. Pocket League? Sure.
I feel am I back in?
Let's go.
Now that
Steph. You're going to love this.
Yeah, make sure.
Don't let it dawn on her when it's...
Really? Why?
Let it dawn on her.
You picked a lot of shit games.
Pocket League is...
But I thought...
Guys.
We'll find out.
We're getting near the end. Pocket League is where we all have picked a bunch of games that come out this year, and we look at their scores, and it's kind of fantasy football, but it's with video games, and it's brought to us by Nicrotex. Thank you so much, Nicrotex, for sponsoring this segment, and as is tradition, when we have a segment sponsored by Nicrotex, we read a tweet by the aforementioned Nicrotex. And last week, if you saw in the intro, I publicly, in front of Montaigne, read out his most embarrassing tweet. To which she thought it was a delight. So I don't know what you had to worry about. But there was a follow-up this week as well, because there's another Tears of the Kingdom tweet by Nick Belling on May the 12th that reads as follows. Pleased to inform you all that my Dom King is showing me things I've never seen before and keeping it really fresh. My ass is sufficiently tears.
Tears?
I don't know, man. It says the same thing. Tears? My ass is sufficiently
nasty.
It's tears, right? Isn't that the joke? Tears up my ass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the game is
tears.
We still don't know that for sure.
I guess your butt could be crying.
Zelda doesn't say in the first art.
Tears on the wall. Link, look at all the tears on the wall. All tears up to you.
Oh, charming. As is Nicrotex. Thank you for sponsoring this segment. All right, let's bring up the scoreboard of the Pocket League as it currently stands, which has included a heap of games that have dropped since we last looked at this. So, pointing out the new ones on the board is Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which I picked. Resi 4, I picked. PGA Tour.
I'm still totally in it.
Why is it still PGA Tour 2K23?
There's an update, Josh.
It's got games, so they're all shit.
It's still not
No,
updated.
but I've got Baldur's Gate. It's going to be amazing. Final Fantasy 16, going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Redfall.
And
You got a 71, a 74, and a 56.
Justice League got cancelled, and then the Avatar will slot in.
Yeah, you've got to hope.
Securing me the win.
That better happen.
Either way.
Resi Fall, EA Sports PGA Tour, which is up there. Thank you. Which came out as well. Steph, you had Redfall came out on yours. Pete, Zelda, of course. Tears of the Kingdom.
But
you
mine was
finally
a
got on that
reserve.
one. Yours was a reserve. Will, you had Tron Identity.
Yeah.
Dredge. And Minecraft Legends. So I've got a couple of the reviews here to go along with the scores.
Yeah.
First of all, Peter, well done.
Well
you
done,
finally
Peter.
got the Golden Goose, which we've been going for 1 year.
1 year.
I picked it and didn't get it
Tears of
last
the
year.
Kingdom.
Yeah. Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ben, yes, Avatar. I'm sure that's going to review well. Shut up, Ben. It looks like it's going to be decent. Okay?
Is it? I don't so much care about Tears of the Kingdom as much as I care about the fact that I picked your 75, which will give me an extra point as well, won't it?
You picked my 75.
Yeah,
dud.
yeah, if that's your duddiest game,
How does that work again?
you get.
I think you get 1 extra point if it's their worst game.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So you think Street Fighter 6 and the Plucky Squire are going to beat that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. That might happen.
Yeah, I did.
So if and I picked Steph's Atomic
Street Fighter's
Heart,
an 85, Plucky Squire is going to be an 85.
and I don't
as well.
get the 70. I don't get the point for Atomic Heart because it's not the worst rating game
Yeah.
that Steph has.
You've already lost that.
Okay.
What did I choose?
Redfall.
Yeah.
Got 56.
No, but like, what did I choose as my bad one?
Yeah, I may have.
Steals?
They may have dropped off.
Because I had to recreate this very quickly.
Yeah.
I can't remember what you put down.
I think both of you picked
There was 2 in.
2 in my games, maybe?
Or in 2 in, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I picked
Maybe
Someone
in
in
Expanse? Maybe the
Yeah,
two of
I
you-
think that may.
That
yeah,
sounds
that's,
right.
That's it. Yeah.
Did you
totally.
both pick Expanse?
No, we
okay.
couldn't pick the same
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah,
But
whatever,
going through
whatever.
these, the first one up on the top of the list.
It
Jedi-
was.
thank you, Josh.
yeah, I picked Suicide Squad.
Steph picked Expanse.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Will picked Suicide Squad.
Yeah. So I've got no extra points.
Yeah, okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad. I mean, you should get Suicide Squad because it got
'Cause
cancelled.
it got-
That's like the
'cause it got
worst
bumped.
version of a game
Cancelled.
score.
No, it got delayed.
It got bumped.
Sorry, cancelled
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the list. It's bumped. Yes.
Yeah.
You're doing great, Steph. Even your reserves as well.
It's gonna be like a surprising
You might
result.
Yeah, if you get hundreds for the last 3 games, you remember the shot.
Potentially. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, these scores all come from OpenCritic. So we have an 85.
Anyone's game, you guys.
We have an 85% aggregate score there, and a couple of comments about Jedi Survivor. You're still playing? You finished it?
Finished it, 100%.
You played a decent chunk. You finished it.
Yeah, I finished it.
Oh damn!
Josh has finished it.
Josh finished it. Steph, did you try it at all?
Which?
Jedi Survivor.
No.
Star
No,
Wars.
I've given it like 4 hours. I very much like it.
Yep.
I'm not yet in love with it.
I haven't played much of anything, to be honest.
No, fair enough. But you played
I've had a couple of
Jedi
weeks.
Out. not
Fallen
Outcast,
Order.
Fallen Order.
I finished Fallen Order,
Yeah.
I
right.
fucking loved it.
Are you gonna put Survivor on like a to playlist at some point?
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. So a couple of reviews that were out for it. Dan Stapleton at IGN gave it 9 out of 10. Thank you, Josh. And says if Respawn makes a third game like Respawn makes a third game like Star Wars Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order, it'll complete the best Star Wars trilogy in 30 years, hands down. Pretty bold call.
I guess so.
Hands down.
Hands down. Anyone?
Hand
down. So yeah, that's a big call. The best trilogy in 30
I mean,
years.
I can't think of
there
hasn't been another good trilogy.
Yeah.
It's not much of a call.
No.
But of course,
Yeah,
the score.
no. I guess the other Jedi games,
Yeah, true.
Outcast.
But are they saying trilogy.
Academy.
They're just like it's the best since the original
Yeah.
movies.
But are they saying?
Since-
Yeah.
Since Catan.
Yeah.
But because the story's good, you've both like really. I remember Pete, you said you enjoyed the
think
story.
The story
This is a very much a middle story game.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
So I hope there's a third one because I think it will be stronger than this.
Totally.
I think
okay.
this was decent as a story, but it was a lot of fun to play.
I did enjoy at the start of the game. Everyone's kind of a bit of a like you've got old mate here with the jetpack and the dual pistols, very like Han Solo-y, but bounty hunter combo. It's like everyone is an archetype of the Star Wars character type that you've seen before. But that's the vibe.
They've totally nailed what a Star Wars game can be in terms of how to make like stereotypes for everyone.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Morgan Park at PC Gamer brought up something that was important. He gave it 80 out of 100 and said, Star Wars Jedi Survivor is an excellent sequel and a fun Star Wars story, but maybe wait for a better performance. So obviously that was a big point of contention at the beginning of
On PC. Yeah,
PC version
I
had...
thought he meant from Cal. Like his acting was bad.
Get better, Cameron.
Once the mocap gets improved, I think we'll see.
Because, there were some issues there in terms of PC, and some people pointed out in comments previously, it's like, PC was broken for some, like, entirely kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've been playing it on Xbox, and it plays great. But, well, actually, it plays...
How is it for
It
you?
started
chuggy.
on-
It's started...
You got a 3090?
Oh, yeah, it was like butter.
like butter.
Yeah.
Carved through a big... like a lightsaber.
Like, legitimately didn't have.
Yeah.
But I only played one session before they patched it.
Yeah.
And
I was
so
going to
patched-
say I played before the patch and it was broken on my 3090. It was rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, right.
Yeah, there was clearly some bottlenecking somewhere, but
Yeah.
While they still have that there. Josh, you're planning to finish it?
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
You're done too?
Yeah.
Wow. So you
I'm
guys-
on the second playthrough now, actually.
Yeah.
It wasn't the longest story, though, was it?
It's not very long.
yeah, I think I had a 14-hour save.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think I was around there too. It's
So that got me 85, which is a pretty good score. Then my next one, ooh baby, Resi 4, the greatest game of all time, Peter, got me a 92 on the board. Oof. The 2023 remake. People love this. People raved about this. I finished it on stream. I had a fucking wonderful time.
I watched you having a bad time with it on stream.
Really?
Fighting that boss dude.
The last one?
Yeah.
I was tired by
shit.
the end, sure, but the whole way there, it's not about the final boss fight, Pete. It's about the journey.
Yeah.
Which is not a saying, but it was a good game. Kurt Indavian from GameSpot gave it 10 out of 10. Said Capcom raises the bar for what a good remake is and simultaneously preserves Resi 4's legacy as a genre-defining experience and one of the greatest games of all time.
I will say that about it, that it is very successfully a remake of the game that it was, as opposed to modernizing the gameplay, which is what I struggled with because I didn't have any nostalgic attachment to it. I was just playing an old game that looked a little bit better. Because it doesn't look as good as modern games. It just looks really good.
Yeah.
And it is a throwback in gameplay. So I struggled with that.
It gets the bonus of it doesn't look better than modern games. It looks very good, but everyone's mind remembers what it looks like.
Yes.
So playing it, an up-res, a remade game like this, it just has an extra little bit of shine to it that you just remember it didn't have. So I think that's...
Especially his hair.
Especially his hair.
I would
Look at
fucking froth so hard for a... I wouldn't even froth a remaster of Banjo-Kazooie. I'll just play Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
Games like this, there's some games that don't need remasters because they still look
This did,
perfect.
though. Muddy textures
This
originally,
needed
all
a-
that kind of
this
stuff.
needed
So,
a remaster.
Yeah.
a lot of people I talked to while I was streaming it, like, are just like really enjoyed their playthrough of it. So I'm glad it got a lot of love. And it got me a 92 on the board.
Pretty good.
And then one that got me 75 was EA Sports PGA Tour Road to the Masters. It got 75, and I'm a little upset with that because I was really excited for this to be my next golf game that I play casually. I really like golf games. I'm still playing 2K23, but unfortunately, this not as great. And Keith Stewart from The Guardian gave it 4 out of 5. And said the controls can be tough to get the hang of, but the visuals are stunning, the commentary is impressive, and the play itself gives you all the challenges and realism you could want. I won't keep
This
you guys
looks
in
so
this.
realistic.
I jumped into this very excited to play it. I would say it's too slow. There's too many button prompts between your swing and moving between shots. It doesn't feel like that. Well, that's not even golf. That's a different sport. What are we watching here, Josh?
There it is.
There it
It's
is.
the trailer.
This is the official trailer.
Yeah.
I have been watching YouTube videos about which game is better, and every video is like, If you like, it just depends which one you like more. I'm like, oh, it sucks. No one can make their mind up.
But also, you just want gratification. The only reason you're there is for someone to give you confirmation bias, right? Like,
yeah, totally.
Because you know which one you like more. You're there to hear them say, this one sucks.
Yeah, I actually was.
But you know it sucks.
Visually, this one, that's real life, but visually, this one,
it's impressive.
They're sneaky.
The gameplay does look really good, but the putting sucks, and I find the swing system really difficult. So I went back, and I'm still playing 2K23, which is the one that Tiger Woods is attached to. This is EA's one. This is all tied up in the Masters golf, and it just is very sluggish. And golf, you need to be able to crack on through it. Golf is slow in real life.
Yeah. Crack on through that golf game.
Crack on through your golf game. So
Can we, I just want to take a moment, just because I feel like we can't talk about golf without appreciating the size of Greg Norman's cock.
Oh, yeah.
Every time.
Can we? No.
Every time. No, it was post-show. Post-show. Post-show.
It's just like, it's a stunning photo.
Post-show.
Post-show.
So that's going to be 75. Steph, you got 58 in your reserve with Redfall.
Yes.
Have you returned to play any more of it?
No, but I haven't returned to play anything.
No, totally. Yeah.
I haven't played a game in years.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think this one's going to sit in the pile for a lot of people. 58, not a great score. I think a lot of people supported the developers, being like they had a vision. It seems like something went wrong. Phil Spencer came out and said, "Yep, something went wrong. We're so like we wish that it sucks when the creative vision doesn't line up."
It's also just like I don't understand what happens at that point where they just release it anyway.
Yeah, it's
like, were they cutting their loss? If they were cutting their losses, then they wouldn't have released it at full price, I would have thought.
Oh, you can cut your losses and still make a profit, I guess. Like if you get the price tag up. Alex Van Aken, Game Informer, gave it 5 out of 10. A little bit of a wordy one here, but I wanted to get a full sort of interesting perspective. Looking at the world of Redfall, I became sad by its wasted potential. For every great location, there are a handful of forgettable ones. The result is an empty feeling game with several puzzling problems, like a lack of proper stealth takedowns, a tedious quest and waypoint system, and the inability to pause gameplay in a single-player mode, which is true. Rampant technical issues hinder brighter moments, including frequent server crashes during multiplayer inputs failing to work, broken animations, and numerous other bugs that make playing Redfall a frustrating experience. For a game about fighting the undead, Redfall feels soulless in all the wrong ways. So, I think we can all get behind the sentiment of there was an intention of a good game here. There were artists and designers and developers who wanted this to be good and who had an interesting and unique vision. But yeah, I think I might have mentioned, but not when we talked about it, I don't have an eye for bugs. I plow on through it. I don't really notice it. I think I turned on a sink in the main firehouse and it made the sound of a sink. It bubbled up from the hole,
basin.
the sinkhole, but nothing came out of the top, and the texture of water was misaligned with the sink, so a square of like what looked like glass was just sticking out of the corner of the sink, and I was like, three things went wrong with this sink.
That's the thing that you focus on.
But also nothing else was interactive in that room. Like there were things that should have been interactive, but they'd still said X to sink, and I was like, sure.
Yeah.
And it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and having another 6-12 months in the oven, it's like it was the design of the game that really lost it. It was so, I think because it changed direction a few times during development, by the end you've got this kind of unfocused mess.
Yeah.
So you have things like that where there's a room with a sink that doesn't fully work but half works, and you're like, why does it half work? Well, because someone was working on it when it was important that someone worked on that.
From the job to
and then they got put on level design somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, unfortunate there. Someone mentioned in chat the best part of the game was the hot sauce, which I totally agree with as well, which was lovely. Pete.
Yep.
You got 97. Have you got the pad?
I didn't get shit.
Get your pad. Why don't you read the review?
Oh, yeah, I'll read the review.
One of those ones. But yeah, Zelda got an aggregate score of 97. It's getting 10s across the board. Everyone's loving it. It's doing very well. I will fall in love with it. But Kyle Hillard and Game Informer gave it 9.8 out of 10.
Oh, you can read the Kyle Hillard one if you want.
No, that was what I was just...
Okay, because I've got here the Gus Ronald of Back Pocket said, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So that was...
Put it on a t-shirt.
He said that before. He said that before.
He did.
He said, I'm going to love it, I believe.
He said, I'm going to fuck it, is what he said. Kyle Hillard of Game Informer gave it a 9.8 out of 10, said, nearly every encounter, whether puzzle, traversal, or combat, what's a traversal encounter, must be reconsidered. It makes you think in new ways. I didn't get the same goosebumps exploring Hyrule as I did in the past, but and that lost at 0.2 of a fucking point. But I did experience new emotions, both on a granular level from solving individual puzzles on a larger scale by going back to one of my favorite video game locations. They say you can never go home again, but I adored returning to Hyrule with all new tools.
So sorry, Kyle. I know you didn't write it like that.
I think it was a pensive, postured... What do you call lilting? It was a lilting review.
What's going on?
It was a lilting review.
I shouldn't have got you to read that. I do
Really
agree with the
milked
fact
that moment there.
I do agree with the fact that Kyle says I didn't get the same goosebumps exploring Hyrule as I did in the past, which I think
Lost
was
a 0.2 of a point.
Well, that's it. But that's kind of what I was hinting at. It's like there's something about being in the same game engine in here that it's like it doesn't have the same wow factor, goosebumps, whatever you want to call it. That does feel like
He's Pete having a stroke.
He's almost checked out for the week, folks. Let him have it. But yeah, it's doing great. Everyone's giving it 10 out of 10. No notes.
Weplord? Bullshit. What was bullshit, Weplord? I need to know. Welcome to the stream, Weplord.
What was bullshit?
Welcome to the stream.
Weplord's a great name.
Hit me up with the bullshit.
Unless it means something nasty.
Wep.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you the lord of? Because there's...
Every
time. If you say the magic word, he appears.
Nasty.
97 for Tears of the Kingdom. Possibly the highest scoring game we've had in the Pocket League.
I think it will be as well.
I can't remember.
Starfield, mate.
It's still there. Wow, Bethesda. That's what they're working on. Will, you got a couple on the board too.
I do, yeah.
Just to round us out. Tron Identity, a couple of Will picks here.
Yeah.
Got you 72.
I think I definitely... I think I should have reversed my reserves. Now seeing.
Wait, okay, hang on.
Hindsight.
The reserve should be on the board, and my other pick should be in my reserves, I think.
Can we see the board, please, Josh? Sorry, I know you're doing two things at once. So you think...
I think next year, everyone should pick a spicy choice.
Yeah.
I picked Telltale's Expanse.
Yeah.
I picked the Plucky Squire.
I picked Tron Identity.
There's nothing spicy about a visual novel, Will.
Yeah.
Is that a visual novel?
Yeah.
It's a visual novel.
That's what it looks like.
This is a thing.
This snuck out, and it was...
I was hoping maybe it would pull in the crowd and it would boost the score, but I think it came in pretty middling. Donovan Erskine from Shack News gave it an 8 out of 10. It said, Tron Identity weaves an interesting detective story that expands the franchise mythos. Cool, for people that like it. While those invested in the lore will enjoy deep diving into this universe, newcomers would have benefited from a bit more exposition. Despite that, Tron Identity's branching story, puzzles, and visuals make it quite an enjoyable visual novel. So it sounds like it's pretty tied for the hardcores.
Yeah.
And it's pushed out
Did
quite
you
a few
play it?
people. No, I haven't. I'm intrigued, but it's not my type of game.
Yep.
But, yeah, bit of a shame.
You like delivering mail near a lake.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That's
I've
right.
also I know visual novels work.
It's very specific.
Yeah.
But the
And
Tron...
the number 2000.
And the number 2000.
The Tron universe just doesn't... The Tron universe is literally people went into a computer to play games and they're like...
And learned how to be human.
And learned how to be human and ride light cycles and they're like, let's make it a book. And I was like, no, that's specifically why I'm in Tron property.
You can't put Daft Punk in a book.
You can't put Daft Punk...
Can't put them anywhere anymore.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
another page.
Tonight. Around the world.
Around the world. Jesus, this just goes on like this. We should do funny dad comedy. So that was Tron Identity.
Yeah.
Will, you've got two
You
more.
guys spend too much time together.
We basically are wearing some kind of weird version of both our outfits.
Yeah.
Dredge. Fucking Dredge. Great game. Possible game of the year for a lot of people.
Totally.
Tears of the Kingdom didn't come out.
Yeah.
But people love Dredge. I want to get back into Dredge.
Yep.
You should play it on your Switch on the way on your plane. It's a good plane game, I reckon. It's a good boat game.
Boat game's a plane
Boat
game.
game's a good plane game.
It's just that I'm going to take my laptop and I don't want to take a laptop and a Switch. And Peter's taking a Switch. So I'm hoping that I can
Yeah.
You could put the little stand up.
Yeah. That's,
Put the stand up and both play 1-2 Switch
Yep.
together on the plane and
Yep.
annoy everyone around you.
arms.
4 ice cubes.
I'm milking a cow. But yeah, Dredge did pretty well.
Yeah,
everyone
82.
loved Dredge. Got 82.
With a review from Alessandro Alossi, what a name, from the Games Machine, 8.5 out of 10. Although fishing is an interesting, intrinsically repetitive activity, Dredge is proportioned, Jesus, so it comes with the name, so well that it is able to give you every virtual day a reason to take your boat and push your limits a bit further than yesterday. fighting against everything and everyone, but above all, against yourself.
That's why you like it.
Yeah.
You're
Fighting-
constantly fighting against
He's up
yourself.
against himself.
That is true.
Yeah.
I am my own worst enemy and my greatest lover.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, you can do it.
Did you play it?
I didn't.
Fuck's sake.
Why would I? There's a lot of games there. I'm not gonna play
totally.
them all.
I know, I guess.
But yeah, I'm praying maybe a Forza or something. Maybe Replace gets bumped again, so I can get a Dredge across. Just looking at that list because we got the Sony conference next week.
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
And they're gonna lock that in place.
What's Replaced again?
Replaced is that beautiful pixel art.
Red light through the trees.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Which
that does look good.
Which got bumped a year and then was in the kind of absolutely coming out next year montage.
Okay.
But hasn't really had anything since.
Hasn't had any noise since. Yeah.
Fingers crossed that gets canned.
But then you got Minecraft Legends in at 71, so your lowest scoring game is in your reserve.
Yeah.
Much
which I
like
guess
Steph.
which is good.
But also Minecraft Legends, isn't it first reserve and then second reserve?
Ooh,
I don't know if it was numbered.
We forget how to play fantasy
Yeah,
sport every time we come back to
them.
this.
maybe.
In order, but maybe I would allow. We can change the rules right now.
Yeah,
I would allow your best reserve to go in first.
I think that's how it works.
That's not how it works. It's first reserve and then second reserve. That's always how it's worked.
Why aren't they numbered then?
Yeah, we didn't
would've
number 'em.
But
We didn't
like,
number
if
them.
okay, in a real world scenario,
This is the real world.
okay. In this scenario, but in football,
Yep.
the teams out there, they're doing pretty good. Old Julian Telltale Expense slips, twists his ankle.
Yep.
Ooh, nasty. Nasty.
Missed it.
Oh, you're the voice of nasty now.
Relentlessly apologizing for his existence.
I'm so sorry. I'm
Sorry.
sorry I came tonight, guys. Julian Telltale Expanse pulled off the field.
Yeah.
Who am I putting on to replace?
Your best player.
The best player on the bench at the time,
Who are yours?
which is probably not Lies of P,
Yeah. Kerbal Space.
but Kerbal Space Program maybe got pushed to next
Well,
year.
it's in early access, so I don't know when
Oh, it is in
that'll
early access,
come
yeah.
out. I think you're safe. Probably.
Liza P's going to smash it.
Yeah.
It could be good or it could be
reckon.
a 7.
Oh,
You know, it could be one of those ones that trailers well and then is like a bit,
Yeah,
they
true.
didn't quite reach
Yeah.
what their potential.
Much
But
like-
it's pretty certain that those other 3 games are coming out, so I probably won't even go into reserves.
You're
Yeah,
okay.
I think we're all going to be pleasantly surprised by Avatar, you guys.
I would fucking
I hope
love
so,
that.
yeah.
I'll tell you what, because
yeah.
you got no chance of winning. So if that gets 100, I'd be stoked.
Yeah.
100. Just a fucking outright Avatar gets 100.
What a twist.
How long is it going to be?
How
How long's the game going to be?
It's like it's like an open world Far Cry.
Yeah,
type
Yeah,
thing.
and they've got to
Yeah.
kind of open it up to the fact that it's gonna take on parts of the first movie and
Oh, really? All
I
right.
imagine so.
the
It's not just
fire
all
film.
water.
Yeah. No, I
Can't be,
didn't
right?
know it was the films. I thought it was just a.
No, it's just
It's a game.
It's
just a
standalone
game
open
set
world, but
on
I feel like they're
Pandora,
gonna
yeah.
have to be like, there's the water people, and
Yeah,
there's the
okay.
jungle people, and there's gonna be fire people.
There's a lot to
and it's basically
introduce.
Zelda temples directed by
Mm.
whatever his name is, Titanic. Speaking of sevens,
Yep.
What's it?
Minecraft
One of the
Legends.
greatest film
Minecraft
directors of all
Legends.
time.
Let's
Minecraft
finish.
Legends.
Let's finish this segment.
We'll wrap you up with
Yeah.
that one, which just kind of went and came
I
and
was
went, didn't it?
surprised. I kind of
James
expected this to. I expected Minecraft as a brand, and also their kind of side games have done pretty well.
Yeah.
All the other little bits and pieces.
Yeah.
But yeah. John Gilbert from Game Revolution gave it a 7 out of 10. Scroll. If you're looking for an accessible RTS that offers exciting and tactical gameplay, Minecraft Legends will satisfy you. But don't expect the Minecraft name to mean much beyond branding and purposes.
Yeah.
So
kind
it's
of it,
just
isn't
an
it?
RTS with a skin, I
But-
guess is what.
It's a cool.
That's sick.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
But I totally hear the reviews, and I think 7's like
Yeah.
7 feels harsh to me based on what I've seen. It's kind of baby's first RTS.
Yeah.
So to give it an
I don't
to give
think
it a
it's
Minecraft
that. I
skin,
don't think it's that.
it is
like,
yeah.
simple.
I believe it is from reviews I've watched because I was interested in playing it, and
Yeah,
I was
okay.
like, if you've played an RTS before, probably not worth playing this. You'll be
Yeah,
bored by how simple it is.
Okay. Well, it's the fact that the thing that intrigues me is that it's hero focused. Like,
Yeah.
it's that I like that. You're not a cursor. You're not a hand of God. You
Yeah.
are a hero. You're a Steve or whoever else.
You're
on
a
horse.
Steve.
Well, that's
That's
Steve
the main
from
guy,
Minecraft.
yeah.
So I like that because it puts you in the world, and anything that like RTSs for me were always about like, oh, I wonder what it'd be like to go in the buildings in Command and Conquer.
Yeah.
And then that like Command and Conquer and Renegade game came out. I was like, it's shit. So I like that you get to be down there running around,
Yeah.
but maybe if it is too simplified.
Command & Conquer's got to come back, man. What is
Command & Conquer in a big way would be
What
good.
about Red Alert?
But yeah, this got a
Command &
7,
Conquer,
and it's
Yeah.
your reserve, so I think you're okay.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty solid. Marvel Spider-Man, I think, will give that Sony rep as well as Forza in the Microsoft.
I reckon
department.
you're in high 80s, low 90s for that.
Yeah,
at
I'm. It's kind of your feels with Zelda, where I'm
Yeah.
like, I assume I'm going back to New York, and what can you do for me there? So
That's true. But
I'll
guys,
find out.
Lucky Squire.
Lucky Squire.
Mid-90s has to be.
It might
Lucky
be.
Squire.
Yeah,
It's going to be the fucking shit.
I reckon you're pretty well poised. Obviously, you've got more games on the board.
That's true.
I don't think I'll get... I think if those 3 games come out, Telltale's Expanse is the one I'm worried being lower than 79.
But you're in a good place with
What
90s.
what
and,
points do we get for picking the right bad one?
I think you get one point, but I don't know what we get points for.
Yeah.
That's because we
We'll
don't
work it out.
understand quite how we play.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
This is Expanse.
This is...
Oh, this is Expanse, isn't it?
It's Telltale.
It's a Telltale.
Yeah.
Were you about to throw to the card?
He was about to throw the
Yeah.
card.
It's
But
alright.
I
That
just,
would've
let's
been-
just
that
watch
would've
this.
been cool.
Josh worked hard to find
Crank the
some very
volume.
sexy looking Expanse. It does look good.
It's fucking sick, man. Telltale games are awesome.
But you're across all the Expanse too.
The Expanse is
He loves
so
Expanse,
good.
Yeah, I know.
It's my favorite. Oh, Jesus. That's so loud. It surprises me every time. It's my favorite series and book series of all time.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get Josh points.
Yeah, Josh points.
Yeah. I'll take him, man. Fuck, I can lose the rest of the Pocket League just to get those Josh points.
For argument's sake, Devil's Advocate looks pretty boring sci-fi wise. I know that's not. No, but like.
Cut to tingle.
Cut to tingle. No, like what we're
That was
watching.
nasty.
What we're watching right now is just people in a steel ship, like in space. I imagine the story is captivating and riveting.
Yeah,
and all that
fucking
kind of
is.
stuff.
Imagine.
Oh, for God's sakes! Just like.
Imagine.
But right now, as a game, it like just looks like.
It's a fucking story because it's Telltale. I agree. If it was an Expanse,
Wow, Josh quit.
Thank you, Josh. And you walk out and you're allowed to.
Who's going to run the
Josh
stream
doesn't
now?
do bits. That's real. That's real.
Wait, did he leave his red frogs? Because we'll know he's coming back. Because I wouldn't leave them.
I don't think he has red frogs left because I checked earlier because I wanted to eat some.
Oh, damn. There's no way. Gus said, and that's...
That's a segment we like to call.
Nasty.
Cards over. Okay, go. That's...
Perfect.
It's silent.
Wow.
There we go. Well done.
I purposely pressed the wrong button to see what would happen, and nothing happened. I was like, oh.
I've Gus-proofed it.
You did indeed. Excellent. Let's say heap of games. We'll probably check back in that in a couple of months when a few more games have dropped, but it's anyone's Pocket League still.
It's anyone's game, guys.
Anyone be honest. Come on.
I can't believe you fucking we're shit talking the Expanse.
I'm not shit talking. I'm just saying.
I can't let that go.
Was in the other segment.
I can let you go.
There was in the other
The
segment. The
walls are
segment's
up.
gone.
Yeah, it's over.
Fine.
Segment's over.
We'll
Let's
move
call
on.
it. We can't. It's the end of the show.
Oh. Don't press it.
Good night.
We still have stuff to do.
Yeah.
We do. We actually have something I forgot to mention earlier.
Is it another rap?
It's not another rap, but we do have something to plug.
Damn it.
That's all good.
Yeah.
Something we forgot to mention for a while back is that we are still doing merch as part of our Patreon tiers. So for anyone who is signed up at the We're Back merch tier or above, you will be eligible and be being sent out our latest designed piece of merch, which we will have up shortly. We're playing around with how we're working around the Patreon tiers, and then we're also dealing with damage. But for now, if you're signed up, you're going to find yourself the owner of a state-of-the-art back pocket culinary kitchenette spiral recipe book. Yes, a recipe book designed by Dion. Thank you, Dion. So you'll find this sent out to you shortly in the mail via Redbubble. It's a unique design you can only find here on the We're Back tier.
It doesn't have recipes in it, though.
You have to put. That's a good point. You have to put your recipes in it.
But
you could use it for shopping lists.
If
Peter,
you're,
you could
if
use
you're
it
at
for.
the correct patron tier, you can put in the recipes of Pyro's recipes that are on Patreon right now. Subscribe to learn how to cook meals as delicious as Pyro makes them.
Back Pocket, the only place where we'll sell you the book and the recipes, and you have to put them in the same
Separately.
thing together.
Yeah.
You have to, ingredients not included. You'll have to do that separately.
And they're not on Patreon yet.
Yeah,
They're not on there yet.
They're gamers. They're like a challenge.
There'll
They
be a
like to work for
PDF
it.
on how to download the recipes to then
They'll
put
be
them
up
in the
in
book.
5 minutes, Ben.
We never worked out how we're
within the
doing
next
that.
5 minutes, they will be there.
Oh god.
But thank you to everyone who does support us at that tier. And again, thank you to Dion for coming up with a wonderful design there. If you haven't seen the dinner party special, is on our YouTube channel, so you can go and check that out as well and see why on earth we have a recipe book.
I ate a lot
and
that night.
Why we?
Oh man, that was
we had a
amazing. I
great-
forgot we did that.
It's been a while since that, and it's been an episode. The last one with you guys for a while. You're heading overseas for a couple of weeks, having a holiday, much earned break.
We fly to Sweden tomorrow.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting. We're going to still be here in some capacity or another doing something for Back Pocket on the channel here on Thursday nights every week. Whether or not that's a bit of a game night, whether we get to play stuff with you guys, we'll do it in the studio, we'll do it from home. We're still working that stuff out, but it's still going to be happening here on the channel, so make sure you are tuning in every week. And yeah, that's the end of the show. Should we do the credits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we want to do the credits?
You're going to wrap them.
In a Swedish accent.
In a
No, that's offensive and
It's not offensive. It's
not
white
offensive.
people.
They're just white.
Yeah.
They're just like
but
the whitest
it's just
people.
the Swedish chef, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is just a bungy kind of thing.
Funny.
Sure, credits. Let's do this. Let's get this shit, the dumpster fire done before we know it. It's a Back Pocket. Special thanks to all our Patreons. Demands.
It's a Back Pocket.
Thank you to the mods. Get syntax error, Lisdalia Sith Cat, Felix Align Disturb 778, Jax Caboose, and What of the Shark, Snail X, that's Italian, Snail XD, and Lord Shadimur. Gus is.
Hold that open.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
This is
I did
slowly
that.
closing. You should have opened the hand.
Gus Beer Wrangler, Doomdays, Empress, Baker, Honey Bun Bun, Bot Lubricate, We Are Robots, Foot Serra, Moth Captain, Caution.
We're now Jamaican.
Remover of Mountain Muffin. Milner for the Wilner. It's a Snail XD. Back Pocket League. It's hard to rap in any other language. BuriBuri. Head Technician. Ken
hard to rap in
Lavos. Sky Groomer. Glowing Meat. Best Boy.
Yeah.
Best Good Boy. It's Jeff. It's Jeff. Bad Boy. Box Boy Boxy, Scotty Feeders, Bifrost, Scotty Feeders, Super Studios,
That's
Pitch
good.
Perfector,
Yeah.
MiddleCee,
Yeah,
a Peter's Cable Guy, Woolsey, Designer of the World, it's a Timothy, Community Hot Boy with that's a Nicrotex, and it's Hot Boy Nasty, the Coastal City, Remover of Sass, Sassless, Alpha, Houseband, Amuser for Hell, Field Supervisor, a Field Tippet, and a Bird Supervisor.
Phil Supervisor is Phil Tippett.
I'm broken. Lurky Cat. We're fucking done.
Yeah!
It's hard to rap when the lines don't rhyme.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which was just a rap in itself.
Yeah.
There we go. Peter, do you want to round out the show? I know why I'm rapping.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you to everyone who watched tonight and saw the, according to Dion, the gas leak episode of Back Pocket.
That checks out. That checks out.
The image of Pyro like cooking in the hallway, like I still hold on to.
Wait, no, okay. There is gas in that, and there's also Community had a season which sucked, and they blamed it on a gas leak in the future season.
Oh, it's a Community
So they
joke.
said why it sucked. But not that tonight sucked. This was fun. This was wild.
Oh,
We had
you're
a good
saying
time.
tonight there was a gas leak.
Yes, that's
we were all
why
crazy.
we were loopy.
I just didn't sleep at all. And you guys have been traveling about.
I've been sucking
What's
down
your
gas.
excuse?
Just having fun.
Yeah,
gas.
nice.
Just gas.
Wait till you go see Game Plan next week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Game
Oh,
Plan.
Game
We
Plan
recorded
is
today, and it
loose.
was
Game plan
fun.
is
a good one.
cursed.
It's a good one.
I'm sorry.
The show, we're not done for the night though. You're going to see us get fall apart even more. We've got some fun stuff to show on the post show. The post show, of course, is brought to us by Loki Cat, one of the heroes of the Pocketeers, who is a very generous sponsor. And because of their generosity, I'm going to read some whiskey tasting notes that are also true of Loki Cat. Because to the nose, Loki Cat is rich, syrupy orange and grapefruit citrus.
I've often thought that.
Hints of clove and cinnamon with walnut and praline.
Nasty.
Nasty. Brown sugar,
Slow fade.
raisins and dried apple. with Gentle Pete.
Oh, that's nasty.
Gotta come back.
Gentle Pete.
Hang on.
Gentle Pete Smoke. So thank you, Loki Cat, for sponsoring the post show. That's going to be coming up very soon. But this is it for us on Twitch.
Has it been discussed what's happening next week?
Yes, Stephanie, you were asleep for that.
Cool.
You were asleep for that bit.
Was it on the show or was it like?
Yeah, it was about 2.5 minutes ago.
Yeah, it wasn't long ago.
Thank you everyone for tuning in tonight, especially those of you who support us on Patreon. We couldn't make the show. We apparently don't sleep without your patronage.
She's broken. I did not remember that at all.
It happened. If you're interested in supporting the show financially, jump onto patreon.com/back_pocket. And you'll find all the tiers, and you can jump in for as little as $2 a month, and it really, really helps us make the show. So we appreciate if you can, please do.
These dumpster fires don't pay for themselves.
If you can't afford to support us financially, that's also totally fine. If you do like what you're watching, please share it around with friends and family, and we'll grow the community into a blossoming. What's a big flower? Sunflower.
Sunflower's big
one.
Or protea.
Or the big one that smells like rotting meat.
Let's not do that.
Oh, a staghorn fungus?
Sure.
Stinkhorn?
Sure. You can head to backpocket.gg to see all of our socials, our Discord. Discord is open to everyone, so please jump on in and meet some awesome people. Our socials, our Redbubble store. And guest plug.
Will, what have you got anything to plug?
No, just that gas.
You really got to get on the gas. Nasty boy.
I sent a picture of a bug last night to Lesser of Two Weevils and said, "What this?" And he said, "That's a cockroach."